sure every one of those rifles is carried across to the next. So the upgrades are there, and Alter Ego steady the storm.
Yeah, if you go for a little bit of a mid-rush like that, finding 2 kills is actually pretty good coming into this first buy round of your own as well, unless you see any larger investments come through from Alter Ego. Extra AK and a scout being brought on up, so we'll see what sort of damage that they can do in this round, albeit maybe even convert the round. Made in Thailand. We're going for this long control with a bunch of utility being thrown down super early as well, and just all the vision lost in mid. So some decisions to be made pretty early from them if they want to get Rolex a little bit further forward towards the bedroom or not, for example.
Oh, they've just dropped him off over towards long. He's not interested in going to bed just yet. Progression util. Gonna push any kind of short aggression from Made in Thailand away, and Bentet, off the back of a fictitious flash that was not thrown multiple times, has finally taken short control.
Okay, Myros. Creeping forward, flash through the smoke. You wouldn't read about it, you wouldn't expect it. And Bentet certainly didn't. Full flashed, full blinded. But the kind of proactive play we were missing from Made in Thailand, as they didn't really get to play that CT side this time. Myros, oh, if it works once, it might work twice, right? Goes through for a second time over towards CT, but the B players right under fire. Or Molotov going to be able to hold on with the FAMAS, dealing with Bilal and Paul Bandana. Now on the 2v4, Alter Ego with 30 seconds. They are running out of options quickly.
Low HP, though, on 2 of the Made in Thailand members, so there's a bit of an opportunity here for them to drop this one still, and that's exactly why I mention it. Right, getting the job done into this B site as the plant gets tapped. 15 seconds to go, already into the site. Made in Thailand looking for the shots, but you're caught out switching weapons, and Rate comes up with the goods. 4k and 4 HP to spare on the round for Alter Ego to keep this one running true.
Oh, it's just such a missed opportunity. Things were going so well for them. Myrolls had a great opener. This was a crazy FAMAS 2k, but outside of that, there was nothing that came together in that round for Made in Thailand, and that looked like one of the easier 2-on-3, 2-on-4 conversions I've seen in quite a while. Alter Ego gonna take this long spawn and run with it.
Flash straight out, and CT's forced all the way back to site already. That long smoke. Just giving so much free real estate to Alter Ego. Ego, even. It's Made in Thailand on
Eco's
Eco.
on Myth, yeah.
Yeah.
That's
He's cheating.
crazy.
Classic New Zealander.
Pretty sure there's someone we know that we can call for that.
Jacinda Arden.
Oh?
What?
You said call someone about it. What? That's who I was gonna call. You don't have a number?
Is that the New Zealand Prime Minister?
Yeah, I think so.
He's playing for Indonesia to do nothing, Mitch. Either way, Bentet all the way up on A-ramp, just trying to clear as much space as possible. Bentet, he's going to fully rely on everyone else to do the rest of it. But hey, everyone managed to grab a little bit of fun there in the round. And Alter Ego straight onto 4. Only blocked by the smoke. And even then, Jacinta Arden needed to be called.
Well, we're calling for Made in Thailand to do something right now. That's we want to see it. AWP has been purchased here for Anony. But if I've ever seen a B spawn for this map, that is certainly one. Benset, get those runners on and get straight up into there. Or go lowers, you know.
You got aggression into lowers here. Anony covered decently here by 789. Who will be better? Will it be Ben 10 himself? He's got his watch out. He's thrown out some Molotovs from the watch. It's like Inspector Gadget or something like that. You only get a 1-for-1 there. And look, we did get the answer to our question. Ben 10 better than 789. What do you think about that, Mac?
I think 8, 9, 10. Justice for him. Or something. You know what I mean? That's what you get if they got together and made a baby. But in the meanwhile, it is going to be Myrolls finding Ben 10, who didn't 8-9, or anything else for that regard. All stuck in tunnels, though. And I don't know where to go with this one. Dion, save it.
Forearms right now is strong, and Made in Thailand have 4 players alive, 2 for Alter Ego, and we may very well see a round converted here for Made in Thailand, and they certainly need to establish something on this map. That is disgusting from Grat, but he will not be expecting Anony with that AWP up at top mid. So Made in Thailand, they steady things here, and they get around on the board.
Yeah, pretty nice. Couple of guns kept over as well. They've got some AKs to work with, but did lose a couple of players on their way into that gun round, which is going to take a bit of a toll on their economy. You can see Alter Ego, minimum loss bonus for them, have scraped the bottom of the bank accounts to get a buy together of their own. Let's get a cheeky swing round into round number 6, although you could see some good saves coming through from Made in Thailand if this round doesn't start well for them. Long control secured by Made in Thailand. Could have an AWP duel here between Grat and Anony.
Ooh, good util to put himself on the line and create space for Alter Ego. Straight down mid. And Anony will answer back with that insend, stopping the initial short pressure. Ooh. But there's that info they're looking for. 789 tagged up through the wall. Lucky to be alive, and we will see my Made in Thailand just fall back into the 3-2 setup. Myrol's dropping in the CT actually weakens short a lot here, and it's all up to Anony to hold from sight.
Alter Ego are doing a very good job on just using all of the scaling utility at the moment. Molly early on to off-put your AWP opponent. You get the short control with the util. It's just some pretty good protocols being exercised from them at the moment. But what do they look to do now that they are at short, right? There's 5 players standing there for them. We generally see the drop in towards the spawn and the overwhelming force try to get to the A site itself, but with 30 seconds to go, it starts to get a little bit worrisome for Alter Ego.
Oh, Flash does connect with Anony, but he's a little bit quicker. Thins the numbers before they can even make their way into the A site here. Supportive Flash is thrown in from spawn side to try to set up Anony for a little bit more success, but he's copped the bullet to the side from Grat, and Alter Ego, similar to the pistol, just roll that A site like it's nothing.
Well, what'd you guys do with your day? Because we got a little bit of time to wait here. Full game time.
I just had a massive bowl of mac and cheese and chicken and just put barbecue sauce all over it. It was delicious.
Okay. Each
I had
their
a
own.
lot of-
And we know you had the ADS. Did you do anything else, Dion?
Well, there was lots of barbecue and lots of cake.
Yep.
I also had a coffee catch up this morning with people in like the estate that I live. It was the first annual is what they're calling it, so they're trying to establish that.
Okay.
That's pretty cool, yeah.
Like just with the community.
Yeah, like a community coffee catch up, everyone introducing themselves and stuff. Yeah.
Nice.
Mate, I want one of those. I want one of those for where I'm in Europe. I need to know people. I don't know any of my neighbors. Maybe I'll run one.
You could.
I feel like that's what it's all about, you know, fostering that community. And that's what Alter Ego have done, except it's a very international community, and they've gotten a single person from each country to be part of that community. Sounds kind of cultish, but look, it works in Counter-Strike.
They're trying to assemble, you know, the Infinity Gauntlet, right? You got different stones, or in this place, different countries to have power.
Yep.
And I mean, they're coming out with goods, right? They have not lost a map in this tournament so far. They are looking to run this one pretty flawless.
Yeah. A little bit of pressure towards shorts, just a 1-3-1. Alter Ego anticipating some kind of push, maybe on the extremities. Duel goes 1 for 1. Over towards cat side. Well traded with the AWP from Grat there. And it is only my roles once again to kind of hold this cat push. I haven't really felt like Made in Thailand's rotations have been able to deal with these short plays most of the time.
Nice off angle. But the flash forces Myrol's just into a very awkward situation. Now just scrambling to try and find the line. Rolex going to be able to do it, but it's the activation on long that starts to thin the troops, and now Grat just slowly but surely Crab walking his way up elbow. And will eventually scale all the way to sight, but it will be on a timer. Or Molody going to be making his way up short in the meanwhile, and they seem to be fully aware. Good timing on the Molotov, which will allow Grat to reposition if he wants to. Jumping around, and it all opening the timing. Almost working out for Anony, but with that smoke fading, Paul Bandana just taps his way to a 6th. Easy pickings for Alter Ego there.
Yeah, you could just see there was a little bit too much narrow focus as soon as Grat makes that noise. Draws the attention away from Paul Bandana at the car. And then he just taps away to get the close. It's some very large awareness from Alter Ego in how they wanted to get in towards that A site as well. When they do start to get a little bit of pressure sent their way from Myros and Co. Trying to figure out what they can to get some damage on the board. Around for Made in Thailand that you feel like they maybe could have gotten across the line there. But now we start to get a little bit more worrisome again.
Going for a long peek was Paul Bandana. Hasn't been able to come up with too much there. Long control has been secured time and time again from Made in Thailand, but it hasn't really felt like Alter Ego cares too much about that. They just take the middle of the map and mid to B or go straight up cat. Usually have a fair bit of success doing it. Opening duel with the 5-7. Dink for only 7 damage. You're feeling pretty robbed if you're a Noni there.
Bentet. Oh, only able to get that single, but has good info on 2 more members over towards short side, which will help Alter Ego decide to activate onto B instead. And out they go, but Molodor, you're going to be chasing him right on down. All 3 CTs even. All just trying to make their way into tunnels, take up a dark Grat, not realizing there's 3 there, because who the hell would do that in their right mind? Paul Bandana, secondary AWPing, recycling, and putting a 7th on. Big couple of shots there as Alter Ego get another again.
Yeah, you say a big couple of shots there, but there's a lot of echoed misses as well, so could have been a little bit more problematic for Alter Ego, despite not really seeing the massive weapons from Made in Thailand there as well. A little bit of damage may play into the economy soon, but there's not many rounds that we have to play out for the remainder of this half. We're looking to Made in Thailand now to find some opening engagements, to find some strongholds, and bringing out the 2 AWPs into this round. Well, they already lose 1 off the get-go.
That's true. Made in Thailand, they're going to need to be the ones who are massive weapons here. And unfortunately, none of them looking like it. Not a single player delivering. 789 missing the shot on the cross as well. Going to try out for FaZe Clans, throw some sick 360s in the mix, and all Molodoi cleared out on the flank. Another relatively easy round for Alter Ego to pick up their 8th hit.
Finances not looking amazing for Made in Thailand, but given the scoreline, maybe you just want to go for a bit of an investment anyway, at least that half investment. Upgrade the pistols, get those deagles, half Kevlar online. Oh, it's just not going to matter. Or Molody going to get that scout ripped out of his hands, at least recycled by 789, but this should be a bit more of an easy round. Rolex, missed opportunities. And that A site is just so open for the taking for Alter Ego.
We're not really even seeing Made in Thailand find damage, right? Just a little love tap on towards Bentet. 789. Well, this is where you throw caution to the wind as Alter Ego, it would appear. Look for the hunt, get the job done. All in all, the way that the round would have expected to go. And now, Made in Thailand with the weapons back. Lads, it didn't go good last time. Overwhelmed over at A-Long. I am hoping that we see something different, because for the folks that are just joining us, this is single elimination semifinals as well. You will win, get to the grand final. There is a consolation final as well, don't get me wrong, but you want the win, right?
Oh, leg on the cross is brutal. Might actually incentivize Alter Ego to pick up the pace towards B, but no, they're going to slow things down for now. Make sure that no one's aggressed into lower for the time being. Anoni boosted up on top of short here, looking for someone to make their way into lowers, but it will definitely be a B pop. And it's just a retake setup here for Made in Thailand.
Straight out they go. And Made in Thailand, I don't think they got the memo that The B site is probably one of the hardest sites to retake in all of Counter-Strike here on D2.
Oh. Gotta wait out all the utility as well before even attempting this retake. If at all that you want to. Another smoke available for Rate. And you can throw one down to the doors, and that's just going to block you from doing anything. The call's been made for Made in Thailand to cut the losses and try again in the next round.
That is extremely sad. Not even a single duel being taken, really. Or one, rather, really, in this entire round. Alterigo walk away with a very easy 10th. This is a walkover of a semi-final here.
Yeah, well, we're talking about the round being open for the taking, but at the moment it feels like it's the grand final that is kind of open for the taking. Alterigo 3 rounds away from doing that, 11 on the T side. And we also got not a single kill in the prior round.
Yeah.
What was that? Unicorn round. You never see that.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, name me another map that you would see a bomb plant go down in a full across-the-board purchase with AWPs, utility, rifles, that it's just a 10 alive situation. I don't really think there's any other map that you would generally see that, bar B-side does too.
Oh, Grat going to be smoking doors, or Molody looking for the timing swing, but Pol Bandana guns out and ready. 789 just trying to drop some utility to buy some extra space or time, and double stack is a good place to hold, but with that many T's just knocking at the door, it's a friendly fire. Rate wanted the knife, but Bilal said no. Took it away with the Molotov instead. And now an opportunity, but Made in Thailand, they gotta go, and the mollies are burning. This is the problem when you go into the B site so quickly. There's just that much util to keep on using. Oh my lord, not much of a round coming through there from Made in Thailand as Alter Ego just have a bit of fun with it on the 11th.
That double molly on Windows side has been brutal multiple times for Made in Thailand to deal with. Really, really good coordination from Alter Ego to just cook them to a crisp right on the windowsill like a lovely apple pie.
I do like me some apple pie. Made in Thailand, though, to the T side you go. Are you going to be coming up with the pistol to start things off, or Alter Ego going to get the pistol, maybe the second round, and have the biggest scoreline difference for the AOC Masters 2025 so far?
Slower approach in through lower. And Made in Thailand hoping that they can find something, but it's Pol Bandana that's doing the majority of the searching for Alter Ego. Mid controls there.
Usual. He's a weapon, Mac. He just keeps pushing. It's the same thing. It's Ivy all over again. He's about to do it to him again, bro.
Yeah.
Well, Grat's on the line. See if he's going to be able to find something. Ben Tet over at Goose as well to swing on out. You got me. You got me.
Okay. Nice little flash, though, is going to allow Bentet to activate over towards the window side, but in through the smokes they crunch, and with the B-site control in a 3v3, Made in Thailand are looking to finally double their round count. Anoni, whoa, trying to track that one away, will be able to fall and deliver for another, at least taking attention away, but Bentet allowed to give it everything he's got. Isolated fights, almost a catastrophe for Made in Thailand, but they get it across the line eventually. And there's that second.
I feel like they've been getting cooked this entire series, but they might have won like 2 or 3 pistols so far. It's kind of crazy. They've won at least 2 of them. They won one on train, I'm pretty sure. So, at least in terms of the pistols, doing okay for themselves. But outside of that, it's been a little bit of a whitewash here. Force buy is going to come out here for Alter Ego. Grat's got the scout in his hand up. It's extremely concerning for Made in Thailand.
It's an opportunity, though, for them to start to figure things out on this T side. They can do it cleanly. It will be good for them as well. A little bit cheeky from Rate at the double doors at the moment. Flashed on in. It's perfect. And that's why he does get traded, though.
But that's the aggression we're expecting. Alter Ego just looking to punish Made in Thailand. for whatever reason at all. Grat going to be able to lock on a 789 straight through the doors. Paul Bandana is at suicide, able to pick up the Galil. Myrolls and Anony completely turning the round on its head, though. The 2v4 gets brought back to even Stevens. Flash forward, and Grat misses an opportunity to get that lead right back. Bentet dropping into CT. Didn't get spotted, but he knows exactly where both these T's are. And there's still so much time to play with and a chance to line them both up here with the MP9 swing and ain't dinging. Not this time. Anony able to trade for a third.
Do you double up here? Only one player surviving on T side. Do you send it again? Does seem like they just want to go down to the pistols, keep the damage and the press on Made in Thailand. Not try to force up and get it done. So at least some respect being shown by Alter Ego. And look, Bentet. Once upon a time, he would have won that 1 or 2, you know. Back in the day, the Indo GOAT would be good for those. We're just taking pot shots on suicide with Deegs.
No damage so far, really, from it, but Pol Bandana up to... You can't even really call it shenanigans. It's just normal commonplace at the moment, as 789 is just racking up stacks with the Mac 10. And everyone starts to fall like flies over on Alter Ego's side. That is not how you use the Deagle, unfortunately. Bentet has Zeus or Melody. Guys have got me with the Molodoi.
Yeah, the second coming, the Thai man.
Yep, Thai Molodoi, you know. Not many people know. Only knowers know. And we're now part of the knowers. What did you say?
Welcome.
Look, Made in Thailand though, they're starting to get going on this T side now, Mac. I have hope, I have faith. Grat might have the AWP out, but let's be honest, he's kind of washed. So I'm not really too worried.
Well,
I was wrong. I'm sorry.
How's that for washed? How's that for put out on the line? I'll tell you,
it's thoroughly clean. You know, he's.
That's true. That's true. He was keeping it clean, but we'll see if Made in Thailand can do it again. They've already won 1 2v4. We got Rolex and Myrolls, 2 of the veterans of the Thai Counter-Strike scene. Looking at one of the veterans of the Thai Counter-Strike scene, looking to save the day here. But can he roll his way into a W against 4 of the best to do it? The Infinity Stones in the gauntlet. No, is the answer. Rate going to be able to take his head off, and that's Mongolian CS. A bit of FU kind of gameplay. Just swing and dry around the corner.
Yep, shut down. Very, very clean there. Alter Ego looking to just steamroll. Really? This series, just steamroll. It's another day in the office. It's another day of the week. Get into that grand final. We'll see who they face off if they do win this one in our next series.
Don't do it. It's not worth it, son. It's going to go back to T-Spawn. Love how all Molodoi there has Furia spray as well. It's just gorgeous. Mid control. Being taken here by Made in Thailand. Flash on through, sends Bilal to his death, and Myrolls, the new single by Fergie, has picked up another.
Molotov just delaying the hit and potentially delaying the inevitable. As Grat gets aggressive with it, there is a lot of individuals around the corner. There's a HE off angle. Ooh, not expected. But he's going to be going back for more. Combat AWPing is going to be traded for 1 more. But there's only Rate here. Surely they don't expect yet another man. Just crept his way forward. Oh, there's that bomb on the ground. And the HE to try and soften the blow or even do the whole damn job. 789 going to be HE'd yet again. Oh, big damage. 2 bullets here should seal the deal. And there's that 13th. Rate hitting harder. And Alter Ego do it into.
Too experienced, too clean, too crispy, and too handsome in that one. A pretty convincing scoreline at the end across both maps, and the whole series for Alter Ego means that they are our first grand finalists here in the AOC Masters of 2025. We won't say farewell to Made in Thailand yet, though, as well. There is going to be the battle for the 3rd and 4th teams that will be played out, as mentioned as well. So they'll still try their hand at getting some prize money here.
Yeah, I mean,
it does
this is
just seem like
kind of
Alter Ego are a cut above, right?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, this is kind of what I expect Alter Ego to do to everyone at this tournament. It's just kind of the level that I'm expecting them to be bringing, so not particularly surprising. I was hoping for, you know, the second coming of the Thai scene, but was not to be today.
There were moments, though. There were definitely a few highlights, as you can see here, where there were opportunities, and Made in Thailand, especially in the second half, maybe that graphic that we saw should have been accurate. Maybe we would have seen a bit more of Made in Thailand, because they just couldn't get rolling on that CT side, and Alter Ego punished them for every single thing they tried to do. So yeah, you know, again, kudos to Alter Ego. They've locked in a extra good amount of cash already just by making it to the grand final. And yeah, I feel like it's going to be a scary one for both Bayman and VTM to go up against tomorrow, depending on who makes it through that second semi-final of the day. But yeah, I feel like every individual on that roster had their moments, had a little highlight, and showed that they are definitely capable individuals.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you never really know where things are going to transition to them as well. Transition for them after this tournament too, right? Made in Thailand, an organization that's been out of the picture for a little bit. These players have been on the roster for quite a little bit, but what is this roster looking like? Are these the 5 that are going to continue in SEA Counter-Strike to start to put something together and try to tackle and put them back on the map? Or have they come together in this regional tournament to have some fun with friends and see what they can pull out from here?
Yeah, I feel like that's kind of what it's all about. And I really hope that we do see this Made in Thailand roster stay together and potentially, you know, just get more experience, get more reps, especially in CS2, and potentially, you know, start to make it through that old VRS system. Of course, this tournament isn't VRS calculated, so it's not going to be too much of a factor in that regard. But it is all about, you know, getting those reps in and showing that you're capable, and also just getting your name out there.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it really just comes down to like who can really fill out the roster. I guess at this point, maybe they're taking some chances on some people that they know that are lesser known, kind of in the scene, that are on the come up. You've seen a couple of those players kind of breaking through from the Filipino scene lately, in terms of Southeast Asian Counter-Strike. You know, some of the guys over there on Team Nemesis SCA looking pretty clean with it. Even you know, some other teams on the come up that have had some pretty nice Filipino players that I haven't seen kicking around the scene previously. So yeah, I'd assume there are players that can kind of fill out this roster a little bit more in addition to the veterans from Thailand. Maybe these aren't the players that are necessarily going to kind of cut the mustard against teams of Alter Ego's caliber, but yeah, we'll see what they come up with in the future if they're going to continue playing.
Yeah, hopefully they do find something, and I'm interested to see what that potentially is. I do believe very shortly we will be working on an interview, so we should be able to have a quick chat with one of the Alter Ego individuals, but who that will be, it is currently unknown. It should be you know, cranking very shortly though. But yeah, it's going to be good to get that little bit of insight on the players as to, you know, what the prep was like coming into here, and, you know, what generally the theory is behind this team, because it feels like every now and then they are sort of shuffling in a player in and out, what the goals are, and then, of course, you know, what it means to win, you know, the AOC Masters 2025, if they do that tomorrow. Not alluding to anything, but after what we just witnessed there, it feels like they should be a red-hot shot, Billy.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think that they are going to be the, you know, by and away strongest kind of team in this tournament, and I want to see who can kind of step up to that level, if there is even a tournament that can kind of step up to that level, I guess. But you know, do have to keep an eye on Bayman and VTM in that next series, because you know, if one of those guys has a pretty strong performance, then you know, maybe I'm feeling a little bit more optimistic about someone else taking on Alter Ego.
What about you, Dion? You feeling optimistic about that?
I'm probably feeling optimistic about Bayman and VTM having a good series. I don't know if I'd be optimistic on the fact that they can tackle Alter Ego. I mean, map-wise, they all played on Dust 2. Alter Ego VTM and Alter Ego Bayman, and like the closest was VTM hitting 10, but for Bayman they only hit 4. So that's why I kind of think Bayman VTM will be maybe a little bit more spicy as opposed to that grand final. But I'm ready to be proven wrong.
Well, I'm ready to have a quick chat to the alter ego individuals. It's time for an interview, boys. Go have a chat.
Oh, hello, Grat. How are you, mate? Can you hear me?
Hey, mate. Yeah, I can hear you. How's it
Hey.
going?
Good. How are things
Been
with
a while,
you guys?
eh?
How was that game?
Yeah, it was all good, eh? I think going into it, we were pretty confident just because we played them in the qualifiers and we kind of thrashed them around a bit. But yeah, we were feeling good.
No,
Do you have a
that's
question,
good.
Dion?
Yeah, what's the kind of idea behind this team and this new look towards alter ego at the moment? What's some of the goals that you guys have?
Obviously, we're working towards trying to make it to a major. Right now, we don't have any VRS tournaments, but I think next year we're going to have some opportunities. So yeah, that's the main goal at the moment.
And look, before I let you go, how's it been playing with some of these international mixed teams versus playing with some of the OS boys? You know, is it a bit of a different experience? Is there any funny anecdotes that you can think of?
Nothing too funny. I mean, like, obviously there's a lot of cultures mixed together in this team. The main issue I would say would be communication, because English isn't obviously everyone's first language, but we're making it work and the comms are good on the good days, so we're just trying to channel that most of the time.
All right, nice. Well, I think I won't hold you too much longer. Best of luck heading into the grand final tomorrow, and I'm sure we're looking forward to seeing you play.
Cheers. See you there.
Thanks, mate. There you
Just
go.
in and
We
out.
got Mac back.
Exactly what we love. Exactly what we love. One moustached individual straight into another, I guess. But yeah, good to know that, you know, the comms aren't necessarily always the cleanest, which I guess was expected. But look, you couldn't tell like half of what was going on in the server. Every now and then, you know, things get a little bit chaotic. But they're all very, very talented individuals, and I'm really excited to see what they're going to be capable of in the grand final tomorrow. But for now, that is us done here. We have a show match and that second semi coming up, but that's happening just after the break.
A smart factory. An automated factory. An industry-leading factory. A leading factory that shapes a pioneering brand in display technology. Ranked #1 in global gaming monitor market sales for 6 consecutive years. Produced by a world-leading monitor factory. TPV Technologies production base in Fuji, powered by a smart CNC center, enabling smart connectivity between the factory and equipment, and between equipment and products. real-time monitoring of production status to ensure quality traceability for every AOC monitor. Asia's largest SMT Smart Unmanned Warehouse, Lights Out Factory, enabling automated material handling, automated production, delivering efficient, smart production for every AOC monitor. Industry's first FDICT automated plug-in pre-inspection system, smart dimming and color calibration production line, enabling precise testing and quality control, precision tuning. AOC monitors bring every user's color imagination to life. This is where excellence begins. State-of-the-art national laboratory, uncompromising product quality standards. This is where the origin of colors inspires your heart, and where this smart factory delivers its promise of excellence. Defying limits, going beyond. It all begins here. 1 in 4 users worldwide chooses AOC monitors. Part of homes everywhere. Part of your life.
I've loved gaming ever since I was a kid. For me, games are as essential as air and water. Super, super important. So I keep updating and upgrading my game gear just to get a better gaming experience. And at the same time, I also need a better monitor, higher refresh rate, faster response time. But I totally forgot about how my eyes feel. The longer I play, the worse my eyes get. And that's been making my reaction time drop non-stop. Till I came across it. AOC Q27G4SLWS. It's got 2K resolution, a 320Hz high refresh rate, and 1 millisecond response time. Totally checks all my needs. But what won me over isn't all these features, it's the comfort it gives me. Up till then, the monitor I used only gave off linearly polarized light. Every single beam of light only vibrates back and forth in one plane, and it hits your eyes at a fixed angle. There's this small sponge on your retina called the macula. It's the part of your eye that gives you the sharpest vision. But is super sensitive and fragile. That's why there's a ton of lutein concentrated right in front of it. They soak up the harmful parts of the light, which helps protect our delicate retinas. But linearly polarized light that stays in one direction hits the same spot in your eyes, and that only activates a tiny bit of lutein. It means a lot of harmful light can't get soaked up. If you use a screen like this for long term, it will make your eyes tired and even damage your eyesight. But this monitor has got hardware circular polarization tag. It gives you a viewing experience way closer to natural light. It adds a circular polarization layer right on the screen surface. So it takes the linearly polarized light from the monitor screen and turns it into circularly polarized light that spins in a spiral. Circular polarized light mimics the way sunlight works in nature. It spins evenly and covers every direction. Once this kind of light gets into your eyes, it can cover the lutein in different areas evenly, and it boosts the absorption efficiency of lutein, cuts down on the harmful light reaching your retina. So even if you use it for long term, your eyes won't feel sore or uncomfortable at all. Apart from that, it also has hardware low blue mode and flicker-free tag. This cuts down on harmful blue light and screen flicker right from the source. It's perfect for gaming, where you're using your eyes non-stop. And it's not just about the competitive gaming experience. It also has awesome colors with 95% DCI P3 color gamut coverage, plus a max brightness of 450 nits. Even when just chilling with movies or shows, the visual experience is so good. You could say this AOC Q27 G4SLWS not only checks all my boxes for gaming, but also eases the eye strain playing games for a long time, letting me dive into the game world without any worries.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the AOC Masters 2025 Grand Finals round. We have just finished with the first semifinals, and we already have Alter Ego going into the Grand Finals up against, whoever's going to win the next one. And Made in Thailand is going to be playing for a battle for third, and that's going to be happening tomorrow. But we still have so much in store for you guys today, and that will be our AOC Masters Influencers show match. Yes, we do have a Masters Influencer show match for you guys to behold, to watch, to enjoy. It's going to be a best of one between two teams. We have Team Orange and Team Purple for you guys. So I'm gonna just, go through the names that we have here. We've gathered all of these amazing influencers from different countries. We have, again, from Team Orange, we have Red Ops from Australia. We got Bowman from Vietnam, Hina from Japan, and of course, Rojin Viel from the Philippines. And their opponents, Team Purple, will be Prawl from New Zealand. We have Viper Demon from Thailand, Softcore from Singapore, and Dylan Pros from Indonesia. And these amazing influencers will be duking it out later on. And while we are still getting them prepared, guys, let's take another look, another round of looks at the amazing lineup that Aegon by AOC has for us with the monitors that we have right here. Again, we do have the AG34 UCD. This is our 34-inch QD OLED ultra-wide with 175 hertz refresh rate and an insane 0.03 millisecond response time. It's that one at the very back. And of course, you're seeing right here, there you go, right there at the back, the big screen, that it is the big boy, the AG34 6UCD. And again, it's perfect for those games where you just want to see as far as you want. It's great for Counter-Strike 2 if you're looking to maybe spot your opponent coming out of the corner faster than they can check you out. That's also one thing. You can also look at maybe RTS games, right? You want to see your base as big as it is, right? If you're playing, let's say, like Anno or something, could be something to look forward to. The next one that we do have is the AG276 QCD 240 hertz OLED panel with stunning 1440p visuals. It is right here to the side of me. If you can show that a little bit later. Again, it is 240 hertz refresh rate, very, very fast, very, very buttery smooth. And what's also good about it is that it does have that 1440p visual. So if you want that graphic fidelity with your AAA titles, this is a perfect monitor for you guys to check out. And of course, next up, for the performance gamers out there, we have the two monitors right here onto the side, the Q27G11E and the 27G4H. So these are our fast IPS panels that go up to 200 hertz in their refresh rate. It's very smooth, very responsive, very I'll just say it again, buttery smooth on the gameplay. So if you're looking for, no nonsense, no frills, no nothing, just straight to amazing gameplay for your competitive titles, this is what you're looking for. And next up, right behind me on this desk setup that we have right here, we do have another curve ultra-wide monitor for you guys. This is the CU34G4Z. Yes, this is a massive 34-inch curved VA panel running a 240 hertz refresh rate. So if you want to have, the best of all worlds, where you can see everything, you can be as quick as you can, that's it. And then next up, of course, for the compact esports setup, we do have the 24G4 monitor that was right beside the curved 34-inch that we had. That is, again, the 24G4, delivering up to 240 hertz refresh rate with lightning fast response times. So if you have like a smaller setup and you don't really have a lot of wiggle room to go around, Aegon by AOC still has you. So whatever your playstyle, guys, again, Aegon by AOC has the perfect monitor to level up your game. And with all of that being said, believe it's already being prepared for you guys. We have a treat for you again, this show match between our influencers. So I'll pass it on to our casters. Of course, we have MacMate, we got Pilski, we got Komodo. Guys, go give us a pleasure.
And I cannot wait to jump on into the big show match between Team Orange and Team Purple. But quickly, Pilski, tell me, what's your favorite panel? Because I've got the fast IPS, I've got the TN, and I can't really decide between the two. I haven't tried an OLED. Have you tried an OLED, Komodo?
No, I probably don't get the right monitor value that you guys would in terms of the colors and stuff, because I don't see them.
That's right.
So
that's true. Well, at least with like the IPS panel, you'll have deeper darks and a richer
stuff.
experience.
Yeah, I've tried both of them as well, and I think I'm actually running IPS right now. So I guess I'd say IPS.
There you go. What about you, Pilski? Do you know?
Look, I think any of them would be very, very suitable. He's all our influencers, though, so enough talk about my monitor preference. I'm sure all of them have some cracked monitors of their own as they get ready to unleash some chaos in this show match.
Oh, that was respectable. Top left, definitely committed to the bit. Double hand waves the whole way through. Red Ops was like one and done. He was like, yep, boom, straight back into it. Getting ready. And I can't wait to see, who out of all of these individuals is going to be able to, take it home. Because there is glory on the line. I can see everyone's getting ready, jumping into the correct team channels. But on paper, Dion, do you have any insider knowledge as to who the red hot CS players are on Team Orange or Team Purple?
Well, depending on which team is color-coded which, whoever is Prolin, Viper Demon, Softcore, Dylan Pro's team, I think they have a slight edge because we've got some Counter-Strike talents in there as well. You know, they're making their YouTube videos, they're streaming, playing the Counter-Strike, but also other FPS titles as well. So they've got that, you know, FPS style of mindset. Over on Red Ops team and stuff, they're playing some different things, right? Some open world arena stuff, some vloggers in there. So I think if we want to get down in the nitty gritty, I think probably Prolin's team, Team B, whichever color code that goes on towards here, probably their team.
Okay. Well, we'll see who we get, what we get, and where this game's going to be played. Because I could imagine it could be on any map. It could be on a experimental map. It could be on Dust 2. You know, keep it easy. But yeah, we'll see what we end up getting. Now, Pilski, in your storied history as a show match caster, are you expecting a little bit of fun out of this one?
I'm hoping so. Look, I heard that they were going to put you on Team Orange because of, you know, obvious reasons.
I tried to get in there. I tried to bribe
yeah,
them.
you were actually barred from playing the show match due to your, you know, suspect behavior. So do we want to dive into that on stream before the show match here, or?
I reckon I could dive in a little bit here. He's got too powerful of guns, so he wasn't allowed.
Right.
Yeah. I think it's something like that. I think that's the angle. The first time I got banned from a show match was actually at Melbourne. I got up on the stage. I was about to play, and then unfortunately, you know, I just kind of got relegated to the coach. But look, here I got relegated to the caster. I wasn't even relegated to a coach, so I just got booted completely. So good to see that, you know, the caliber of players on Team Orange and Team Purple are going to be able to provide the fun. Actually, as a non-fun haver myself, Pilly, you've played with me. I take things too seriously. That's probably why I was relegated.
Oh man, when was the last time we played Counter-Strike together? Like, that would be a throwback, man. That would be definitely a throwback.
It was the first time I ever saw someone buy a CZ in CS2. I remember you came in, you played one game and I think you ace clutched on your first round, and you're like, oh, this game's easy, and that was it. I think, and then you were done.
That's all he did.
I do remember that clutch. That was a vintage Mirage clutch. If I do remember on the B site, it's just gorgeous. But yeah, I haven't had the privilege to play a show match. Could you fill us in on the show match meta here, Mac? You know, what kind of a mindset, what kind of training in the months leading up to it, you know, because you a lot of these influencers, they would have been contacted about this quite a while ago, and obviously you want to take these things quite seriously. So, you know, what kind of training schedule do you put yourself on if you know that you're coming into a show match like this?
Well, generally, you know, you want to start to eat correctly. You know, you obviously want to be cutting weight. You can't, you know, we're cutting weight in the must these days. Well, usually there's multiple options. You either do cardio and just keep eating the way that you're eating, and that'll probably do it, or you just slowly cut out the calories. You know, avoid the fats, their high caloric value. Eat more rice and chicken. Get rid of the sauces. I know Ty loves their sauces, but sometimes the calories of the oil is just a little bit too much, so you want to be cooking with the clean water instead. And fortunately, all these individuals have been doing just that. They're ripped, they're ready, and they are purple and orange and ready to jump on into this one. Let's see who ends up winning the Knife. Oh, this is going to be hard for Softcore. And there you go. Lovely. Team Orange dub. Let's see where they end up. Are they going to stay on the orange side, or are they going to go to the purple side and make this incredibly confusing?
Look, I really hope that they swap. They're having quite a chat about it. Yeah, look, the pros and cons.
Who's got the tech?
Look, I think Red Ops is looking pretty serious here. He seems to be the leader of the discussions, if I was to guess.
There's typing in the chat. Do we know to stay or switch? Have they?
Okay.
Okay, they've stayed on Team Orange. Wait, have they?
Oh, they switched.
Yes.
No, they switched.
They switched.
Red Ops' team has elected to go to the CT side, so they have switched.
Oh no.
Is that true?
Yep.
But the HUD doesn't say that.
All I know is Red Ops team is now Team Purple.
Oh well, there's a Team Purple.
Yep.
Okay, cool. All right, well, it won't be as confusing as we thought maybe it would have. No, okay, it did. Okay, the name's just swapped.
Okay.
All right, chat, we're so cooked.
Yes, let's go. Oh man,
This is where I kind of get a buff because I don't see it anyway.
this is what you've been training your whole life for.
I've been trained for this, yeah.
All right, well, Dion, as the inaugural Team Orange on the purple side, play-by-play extraordinaire,
Oh,
take us through the pistol.
takes through the pistol. All right, we got some Counter-Strike action to come now, and we'll see who is ready and sharper with the crosshair at the right spot and what utility as well. Because we're already seeing all 5 members of the T side in Team Purple, who is not purple, going into this B side.
Look at that, couple of nice entries.
come.
They even got light up smack.
wow.
They got a light up for the door smoke. Unreal.
Yeah, they hit that El Clasico one. Obviously, you know, meta discussion on that one leaves something to be desired, but we'll see what ends up happening here. Bomb tape Econ trying to make his way in through window. Rogine at range. Ooh, good crosshair placement, but just can't find that head. And it's all going to boil down to the discipline here from these T's. Oh, bomb tape Con. Rogine in the 1v3 is going to be able to find a little bit more action. Viper Elite just tucked away. 1 bullet, and they're done. And Fresh Bait, 1v1. Spotted in the window. Rogine locking in, locking on, but not connecting, and that time's ticked away a little too far. Team Purple will be taking round number 1, with many more to come.
Not bad. Not bad at all. And something to highlight as well, something that I don't think we touched on just yet. We've got, 4 influencers on both of these teams, but we've got a couple of ranked players in here as well, right? So Freshbait 6 and Bond 13, I do believe, are going to be the ones that play the Counter-Strike 2 from Thailand. They're going to have all these lineups. They might even be a couple of IGLs in here to kind of lead the parties. We'll see.
Oh, there you go. Freshbait. Straight out long, just getting a little bit of an anti-eco farm on. Big 4K for him. He's handed one over to Softcore as well. Softcore, the newest page that we should all follow on Tumblr. Posting things that make you feel good. If I was to guess.
Yeah. We'll see if we get a little bit of that. All right, what are we getting here in the third? Second one was a blistering round. And, oh, Fresh Bait. Gonna be rocking that door smoke. Everyone else there for Team Orange on the CT side. Gonna be able to go for the 2-1-2 approach. Keep all eyes on long. Team Purple not committing with that. Just throwing many fake flashes, which haven't really confused them. I'm looking at Dylan Pros. He's got the P90 action, unfortunately, already doinked there through the door. Fresh Bait. Looking to swing up short. Ooh, good reaction. Rogine going to get caught there behind the stairs. Red Ops push into tunnels. Will relinquish control of the B site as the spacing was a little bit better from Team Purple, but they're making their way up short. They've dropped the bomb into CT. Things couldn't have gone worse after finding B.
Yeah, this becomes a bit difficult for Dylan at the moment, but maybe there is a world to find the bomb. Low HP, a lot of time. Need to come up with some good heroics here to try and find it when Bond 13 is still alive. You've got Hina as well. He's just going to be watching over towards short, but it doesn't matter as Bombman's going to find that one and Team Orange will get on the board.
Very nice. A little bit of friendly fire into lowers there. Already maybe some words being exchanged between Team Purple. A little bit of dissonance. Probably some rude ones that might be TOS. So we can't say them on this broadcast, Mac.
Okay.
Of course, as you would know. Because you are quite the influencer yourself, really. I've seen a couple of little advertisements from you, my friend.
Mr. Influential is what they call me around these parts, Mitch. And Red Ops looking to influence this round too. asserting dominance on the top of car as opposed to a bit more of a meta angle behind it. Venus breaking the smoke, looking for info, but Team Purple just tucked away. Not yet spotted, but maybe heard, especially now that they've gone loud with a couple of shots in through the smoke. And again, just this delay in utility. Rogine as well has rotated across to the party. And Team Purple just trying to figure out where they want to go for this B split. Looks like it's going to be a late workout mid. Red Ops taking contact here. Dominance asserted as Heinous goes for the full commit on the spray. Oh, it's awkward. Dylan DePros making his way out mid. He's going to be able to find a 2-piece. And then in the thick of things, we're down to the 1v1.
Yeah, Hina's done quite well there to try and find a lot of damage on the B site. But now, flip over towards Softcore, who's kind of being a bit silent with this one. 1 versus 1. Bon at the doors on the pixel angle. Should be spotting out the information. Just going to find her through the door anyways. We tie things up to a piece.
Yeah, nicely done.
This
That's
is
going
ingenious,
to...
Mitch. Is it
Well,
Bon
what's
Bon?
genius?
I thought it was
Bon
Bon
Bon.
13 on, but 1-3 is like another B. In Leet speak.
In lead
Kinda.
speak.
Well,
I
maybe
thought
not
you'd
in
be
leet
old
speak.
enough to read leet speak, you know. I thought you would be in the tomes of the leet speak at your age.
Did you
Apparently not,
realise
though.
it was Bon Bon?
I realised it was Bon Bon. I'd been realising it was Bon Bon.
You're smarter than me, mate.
Nah, well, you know, we all knew that.
I didn't realize. Just yeah.
Yeah, look. At some point, they got to put me with some casters that are, you know, going to make things a bit harder for me. You know, it's like kind of like a casting handicap. Think about it. Prawn, he's got a handicap of his own. It's a glass cannon AK for himself, Dion.
Yeah, but, well, he's just got to open up on a Rogine. They can pilfer a couple of these guns if they want to as well. They have found 2 in quick succession. He also got on towards the B site, but Red Ops looks to shut it down. Bon will get that one right now with the AWP, trying to find some extra damage now as well. And the head is given up. No silver platter to be found just yet. Bomberman will look to see things in favor for Team Orange now.
Ooh. Gonna be able to swap weapons in the thick of things. Walking into the crossfire is not the best way to go. As Bomberman going to be able to come through with a lovely little clutch, lovely little trade piece. And that's going to be 3 on the board for Team Orange, who will extend their lead, or at least hold on to it. Team Purple, off the back of that, they won't have a lot of cash to play with, but still will get most things they need. And hey, if you don't really know too much utility, what's the point of buying it, Mitch? We're just down to flashes, 5 of them.
Well, they're just going straight out long. Straight into the molly here of Bomberman. Viper going down straight away there. Straight up middle is Bonbon as well. Has taken a lot of space, and Team Purple kind of feels like they're rudderless right now. Just running around in bedroom like a 6-year-old having a tanty here. Not really getting a whole lot done, unfortunately.
Well, unfortunately for Viper Demon, in Counter-Strike, Molotovs work the same as the game that you're used to, so you probably don't want to be running through them anymore.
Look at this angle. Bomberman knows exactly what to do. Slow creep from Softcore. Ain't gonna look too good here, and Prawlin just
He's
really
always
swimming
like he's like
upstream.
perma-crabbed. I feel like we should rename it to the prawn peak, the prawn walk. At this point,
walk.
he's prawn walking him. He's just perma-crouched with AK light armor. He had a ripper entry up cat, but look
the
outside of
Prawn
that.
Walk like the cousin of the crab dance? Is that
Yeah.
what we are? Yeah.
Yeah, something like that.
100. Yeah,
But either way, unfortunately, the softcore prawn entry over towards long was just ineffective this time.
no, yeah, it was. He's bought AK no armor again. He's really committing to the pit, you know, and I
To be
respect
fair,
that.
Prawlin has 1 kill, and it was when there was no armor, and it was the AK. So 100% so far.
Look, respect for the attempt there, Bonbon. But it's the B site that is getting.
Oh, he's grabbing him.
Oh, got out again. Hit him with the prawn walk.
The prawn walk. It's iconic. I'm watching his screen right now. His buy. So glass cannon AK again. Don't buy armor. Don't do it. He's not buying armor. He's committed to the bit. I love it. I love the consistency that we're seeing.
Is he just gone again?
He's just gone again.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. But he is broke because he keeps buying. That's the name of the game, Pilly.
Oh no. Unlucky to start off this one.
Look, Armor wouldn't have saved him there, boys. He's ahead of the curve.
That's true. It wouldn't have made a difference. Bonbon's just running up mid with the orb. Just asserting dominance right now.
I love the
Bonbon
confidence.
is the man who knocks in the night.
Could be the boogeyman at the moment, potentially. But a bit of a rude awakening onto Rogin. Potentially wasn't expecting Dylan to be there. There's an opportunity at the moment for Softcore to be able to find a kill in the round, but it's not going to happen. And for poor old Dylan, well, you are noted and you are obliterated by a Bonbon.
Well, let's see if this mid-aggression continues to come out, or if we are going to see Team Orange just keep playing spawns. They're kind of having their way with Team Purple right now, and I'm seeing a lot of individuals just looking over towards mid. So let's see if the full send approach goes again. This time, Prawn will be able to get Kevlar. No helmet, but still with the AK. Of course, he knows it is the best piece of the puzzle. Potentially the best gun in the game, if in the right hands. But then Red Ops here. Oh! Mystery adjustment. It's looking awkward here with the mid pressure coming out from Team Purple, and eventually given a second opportunity. Red Ops a little slow on that trigger, but will be good at catching. Great cricket, good hands.
Yeah. That's the Australian representative, I'm sure. Has caught a few things in his time. Unfortunately, Hina's cleaned out from the B site very early on there, and it's just down to old mate Bomman and Bonbon, the iconic duo.
Oh, we're going to start off, though, pretty cleanly. I will say there's a bit of a tons play coming through as well from Bonbon with the AWP, though. You're not going to be able to fight through the flames. Oh, maybe Bomman's going to be the one to take everything into his own hands. 2 kills so far, hunting for the third. Will find it onto Freshbait, our big old player, and Viper Demon is really low in HP at the moment. Can Bomman get the job done? Gets the angle right. Has to go and get the defuse on the bomb. There's a kit in play, so the retake is going to come through just in the nick of time for Team Orange. 2 versus 4. Nah, shake it off. Not worried.
Not bad, not bad. Retake successful. And every little second trying to be squeezed out from Team Purple just wasn't quite enough there. But there you go. What was that? Was that a 2v4?
2v4.
Marvelous. Absolutely marvelous. Let's see if they can back it up yet again. Bonbon with a long spawn. Team Purple with a B spawn. And that's exactly where they're going to be sending it. 4 individuals that direction. Fresh bait on the lurk. Let's see who can be the difference maker for Team Purple, because they need one sooner rather than later.
Bonbon, once again, active in the middle of the map, just giving a freebie there. And throwing in a nade for good measure that takes a chunk out of Prawn and Softcore. So things not starting off well here for Team Purple.
Not really in this one, unfortunately. See if they're going to be able to find Rogin up in mid to B, perhaps. It's the angle that they're looking to waltz in towards at the moment. A bit of a how you're going, and a bit of a battle that you're not going to be able to win, unfortunately, at the moment, as Rogin is just shutting things down in the crossover. Red Ops comes into the play as well. Now it's Fresh Bait to see if he can get a 1 versus 4 in play, but with 2 HP, and a wrap coming through the tunnels. It is going to be extremely difficult to get this one out. It's a clean round yet again for Team Orange.
Not bad, not bad. And Team Purple, no bomb plant means you know right. AK, no armor for Prawn, who's got $1,900 Edus in the bank. Is he buying for the next round? Huh?
He doesn't believe in armor, and that's okay. You know, not all of us are.
He's got that plot armor.
I guess so, yeah.
What do prawns evolve
Unfortunately,
into?
in this game, the plot seems to be against him. What was that?
What do prawns evolve into?
Probably like Moreton Bay bugs or like Scampi,
Yeah.
perhaps. Langoustine.
Well, you better believe he's going to Moreton Bay bug the hell out in that second half. That's what he's banking on. That's what Team Purple are believing in. And Bonbon, again, crispy with the stick. Let's see if it's going to be enough to get him across the line.
4 HP for Bonbon. The AWP is the weapon you want. There's a bit of an adventure happening off yonder as well in tunnels at the moment from Dylan. So we'll see if something can come into play over at that side of the map. You can say the same thing for Rogine that does get shut down. Red Ops was not expecting someone to be already at the B doors. Tina though here, she's been pretty silent so far. She answers
Nice
very
though.
cleanly.
Yeah, good hold of B. Left the door wide open, which allowed a player to come in through door side and take some pot shots at the teammate. But look, outside of that, very, very solid. Team Orange 9-2 over Team Purple right now. I can see why Mac didn't get the call up. They don't really need any help.
Yeah, they're playing crazy.
They're insane.
Bonbon 13-4. Bomtabicon 14-3. These individuals just absolutely smurfing on a missed shot out of Bonbon. One you don't see from it every day, but not the second time. Team Purple gifted one too many opportunities for Bonbon's liking this round. And Team Orange are going to be coming back with a vengeance. Lovely movement. HE as well across to soften them up. Oh, and it's the last kill of the half to Bonbon. Look at that, 16-4. That's an insane KD. 4 to be exact, Theon.
Yeah, math on broadcast is always dangerous, but we've got that one down pat. Good work, pat on the back, golf clap for Mr. MacMate. 2-10 though, for the exchange of the half. Team Purple, they've got a bit of climbing to do here going on to the CT side now.
Yeah. Gonna be rough for them to get back into this game, though. I mean, Team Orange only need a couple on the T side, and this one will be done and dusted. And already making some moves towards that B side of the map. Looks like Dylan is backed up by at least a couple of players. Throws down a nice incendiary, which will actually cut up the push here. The T's gonna force their way through it nonetheless, and a couple of beautiful entries in there from Bomman. At least traded back decently by Freshbait, but he's running out of ammo. What a beautiful 180 from the man, Mac.
Has the skills to pay the bills and buys more than enough time to keep Team Purple in it. Viper trying to make his way in from the ramp side, but it's soft core uppers. Reveals his hand. Jiggling around. Bombing. Just trying to win the Peekers game, and he will this time. Straight onto the head of softcore, and that's going to be 11 secured. Team Orange going full try-hard here in the show match. Not allowing any mercy for Team Purple.
Gets maybe a little bit worrisome right now. We're dropping that pistol round, unfortunately. Need to see Fresh Bait start to maybe keep carrying. Get some sharpies to come on out. There's a bit of a light investment to come in towards this round now. If you can get a kill or two and steal some of these guns, then there's an opportunity to get back into it. No one over at A-Long for right now, though. Pilski is free territory for Team Orange to command.
Yeah, a couple of flashes when you've already taken the space. Just got a double, triple, quadruple check. Fresh Bait on the line has forced himself a deagle and some light armor. But does seem like Team Orange want to make their way up on into the site. Nice smoke for the cross will allow the SMGs to get on up and start to get busy with it as softcore goes down on site.
No holds barred. Heinous in with the P90 of all things. 2v4. Winnable for Team Purple. You got that P250 upgrade. And a P2K for Prawn, who will get here eventually. Doesn't know how to jump up on Xbox, so he goes to top mid to come to short instead. Crab walking around the corner. Oi. Nice attempt on the spam game. But the P2K is not the tool for the job this time. That's going to be 12-2. 1 round needed for Team Orange to take this best of 1 in a more dominant fashion than I believe any of us expected.
Yeah, I would definitely agree with you on that one. You know, we've got our player at the moment coming in for Bon Bon being superseded at the moment by Bombant. Certainly putting up some great numbers. I mean, for those that aren't familiar with their game, they do a lot of coverage on Counter-Strike as well. So it goes to show that they're not just all talk about the game. They do have some bite in the server as well.
Straight into the B side here. Looking like we are looking at the end of the game here for Team Purple. Very difficult retake in a 5-on-5 to be converting, especially with the amount of util that Team Orange is using to delay any attempt at the retake in this site.
Oh, Bon Bon. Look at this cheeky position. It's free. It's...
Uh-oh.
Could have been free. Should have been free even. But Bomb Take Beacon just tucked on the window. Well, let's one pass, but will be there to follow up and get everything else done. Prawn, he will come through eventually. Unfortunately, got stuck in the door. Got a little lost this series. But 13-2, he's going to get a little lost and then a big loss. That is unfortunate for the mans. We also just got a little peek. He was on 380 ping, so I will give him benefit of the doubt that time. But that'll be that. What a bloody show of events there. Good to see Bon Bon and Bomb Tabicon going crazy on the sticks this evening.
Yeah, man, they went nuts. Absolutely. Good crosshairs placement, good shots, and good decision making, and hopefully some good laughter in the comms and to their communities as well. Certainly putting up a bit of a show here for all of us today. That's what you absolutely love to see.
And Bon Bon was going crazy, running around with the AWP. I think that was the field player for Team Orange there. Ended up being a pretty good pickup. That's some good scouting. And look, pretty one-sided show match that we did have there. So, yeah, not much else to really say, to be honest. Just a couple of cracked individuals that might be a little bit more active in the Counter-Strike space than some of the other, you know, creators that we did have in this show match that might be playing, I don't know, what else do you play if not Counter-Strike? Probably like Hello Kitty Island Adventure or something like that, Mac. I know that's a favorite of yours.
Yeah, it's definitely one of my go-tos. That and other Hello Kitty titles. I can't think of anything off the top of my head. I just play them, Mitch. Honestly, I can't believe you've thrown me under the bus like that, but shout out to Hello Kitty one time. And hello, we are back on your cameras yet again. I do believe we're going to be getting a chat with one of the winners as well very, very shortly. But it goes to show, as you could see, I definitely reckon Team Orange, they are probably the team that owns the CS24As, rocking those 610 hertz. So you'd think.
Yeah, potentially so. They've put them good to use if that is the case in today's affairs, and in Dust too as well. Just shooting up a storm. Absolutely, they would have seen every single pistol with that high fidelity refresh rate. Asarai, I know that you would be watching this one and you'd be happy with them being put to good use. So very well done to everyone in the server.
Yeah, look, it is tough. You know, I don't know if you guys have played on 200 plus ping before on Counter-Strike 2, but it is hard. I jumped into an Aussie server one day just to try to, you know, troll some of the boys that were playing. I couldn't troll them. I was just kind of like floating around, so it was weird. So there is sympathy there for Prawn and potentially Red Ops. I didn't catch his, but he's probably about 200 and was able to get a couple of kills in there. So look, it's one of those things where, you know, there is some things that you just need to deal with, and rolling with the punches is part of show matches. And unfortunately, I don't think we're going to be getting to chat with anyone, which is a shame. I was excited.
You're not, but we will.
Yeah. All right, we got an interview with Red Ops from Team Orange. Can you hear me, mate?
Yeah, I gotcha.
Awesome. Hey, it's another. Is that a brother from Down Under that I hear?
It is, bro. What's up?
Yeah. Oh, not much. How was the show match for you? How was that experience? You guys were able to win pretty dominantly. Do you put that down to, just being Australian and being awesome, or did you guys have some, some great chemistry there across the whole team?
I had great comms. One of my teammates had flashy skins, so I was just like, let that, he just clutched up. And then I had rush B. That was my tactic.
Nice. Dion?
It is good to see that faithful Rush B tactic has not left you since we saw you in Counter-Strike last time, Red Ops. How's it been to come back and have some fun here?
It's been pretty fun. I was pretty happy to jump in. It was pretty sick. I got carried. I did my part, got some kills, Rush B, and it was good. It was a good time.
Nice. Now, I'll just ask you, about AOC and the monitors, the refresh rates and all that. How much is that helping you be able to win yourself a show match that dominantly and be able to overcome a little bit of a ping disadvantage in the server, perhaps?
I was on 180 ping, but it was good to be able to look down, like when you get the CS lane and the monitor's looking up here. I did the whole little nose touch on the monitor. It was good.
Nice. Yeah, you love to see it. Alrighty, well, we'll have one last question for you as well, mate. We're going to be seeing you play any more Counter-Strike in the near future, or have you had your fix for the time being?
I might jump back into it with the boys and maybe do some of those red skin trade-ups now. I've seen that's a thing as well. So that's got my interest, so try and get some knives.
Nice. All right, well, look, we'll keep an eye on your inventory in the future, and I'll let you get back to whatever else the rest of the night has for you. Thanks for the chat, and
awesome.
We'll see you again soon, hopefully.
Awesome. Thanks for having me, guys. I appreciate it.
Apologies about that. I knew that Red Ops was just going to be tooting his own horn there, so I tried to cancel the interview. I did hear cancel the interview, but the comm was can throw to interview. And it was just, sometimes in the heat of the moment, I just get a little stressed. But also, for Red Ops out there, make sure you get those IPS monitors if you're going to be doing the trade-ups. It'll make your skins look better, more vibrant, more depths in the colors. So grab one of those, all right? But look, good to hear that, he was there, he was ready, and he enjoyed himself. That is what it is usually all about in these show matches, is trying to enjoy yourself. I would like to know if the opposing team were allowed to enjoy themselves, because the scoreline suggests they weren't. And look, we're going to be finding out a bit more about Counter-Strike very shortly, because we have one more semi-final to get to, and that's coming up just after the break.
smart factory. An automated factory. An industry-leading factory. A leading factory that shapes a pioneering brand in display technology. Ranked #1 in global gaming monitor market sales for 6 consecutive years. Produced by a world-leading monitor factory. TPV Technologies production base in Fuji. Powered by a smart CNC center, enabling smart connectivity between the factory and equipment, and between equipment and products. Real-time monitoring of production status to ensure quality traceability for every AOC monitor. Asia's largest SMT Smart Unmanned Warehouse, Lights Out Factory, enabling automated material handling, automated production, delivering efficient, smart production for every AOC monitor. Industry's first FDICT automated plug-in pre-inspection system. Smart dimming and color calibration production line, enabling precise testing and quality control, precision tuning. AOC monitors bring every user's color imagination to life. This is where excellence begins. State-of-the-art national laboratory, uncompromising product quality standards. This is where the origin of colors inspires your heart, and where this smart factory delivers its promise of excellence. Defying limits, going beyond. It all begins here. 1 in 4 users worldwide chooses AOC monitors. Part of phones everywhere. Part of your life.
Welcome back, guys, to the AOC Masters Grand Final round. We're currently on day 1, and we just witnessed the Masters Influencer Show match wherein Team Orange got the W. Hooray! Yeah, because I was, supporting Team Orange because they've got Rojin there, from the Philippines. So big shout out to them to taking that victory. And I was listening to what Komodo was talking about. Yes, I'm happy that they are enjoying the monitors from Aegon by AOC. And speaking of monitors, guys, before we get into the next series, the next semifinals, let's take a quick gander at the stunning lineup of Aegon by AOC monitors that we have here on our studio. Yeah, we're also showing, of course, the awesome partnered monitor with Counter-Strike 2. Again, that is the CS24 AP, the ultimate esports monitor engineered for competitive dominance, boasting a groundbreaking, guys, 610 hertz refresh rate, insane, and a 0.3 millisecond response time to deliver blistering speed and pinpoint clarity. If perfection is what you strive for, this monitor is definitely for you. And yeah, like I mentioned again, we have right in front of you guys, the AG346 UCD, our 34-inch QD OLED ultra-wide with 175 hertz refresh rate and an insane guys, 0.03 millisecond response time. This is perfect for you guys wanting to have the fastest response, the quickest response. When you're playing Counter-Strike 2, you're going to see your opponents coming out of the corner of your eye before they can do so. It's great. Next up, of course, we do have the AG276 QZD. It is our 240 hertz refresh rate OLED with stunning 1440p visual. So if you're looking for that graphical fidelity, on your AAA titles, maybe you're an insane person and have Counter-Strike 2 on the highest settings, you're going to see the pores of those T-side players or your CT sides. This is the monitor for you. Again, the AG276 QZD. And of course, for our performance gamers, no frills, no nonsense, no nothing, we have the Q27 G11E, and right behind it is the 27G4H. These are our fast IPS panels, up to 200 hertz refresh rate, so very fast, very smooth, responsive gameplay. Again, no nonsense, no frills, all straight to the action, straight to that incredible performance. And we're not done just yet, guys. Of course, we have if you're loving the curved ultra-wide action that we had a while ago, you have another one for you here. The CU34G47 running a massive 240 hertz refresh rate on a 34-inch curved VA panel. So again, if you weren't really not looking for the other one, the 34.6, we have, of course, the 34G that's going to be just right up your alley. Perfect, again, for just seeing your opponents before they spot you. Huge field of view for you guys. And for those that might have, a more cramped space, you want that compact esports setup, we have the 24G4 delivering up to 240 hertz refresh rate. Very fast, very quick. Again, 24 inches, guys. That's more than enough. If you, again, have a smaller setup and you still want that incredible performance, whatever your playstyle may be, guys, whatever it is, Aegon by AOC has the perfect monitor to level up your game. And like I mentioned, we just finished the show match, so we're now preparing for our second series of the day. So just a quick little recap as I'm jostling through my notes. We do have the first grand finalist, which is Alter Ego, and the opponent that will win this next series, again, that is, I believe, Bayman versus VTM, will be their counter grand finalists for day number 2. And I believe we are ready to pass it on to our casters to give us the action for this final series of the day. We'll see who goes to the grand finals. We'll see who's going to go to the battle for third. So, MacMate, Pilski, Komodo, guys, take it away.
Thank you, Asarai, for that knowledge that we now all know about every single one of those beautiful AOC monitors. But alas, it is time to jump into this semi-final. Pilski, tell me what you know and who's the favorites here. Bayman up against VTM. And look, I'm not expecting you to tell me much because I'm unfamiliar. You're unfamiliar. We're very open with this. Dion, you're even unfamiliar. We're all unfamiliar, but we're about to get familiar.
I mean, I know one player, I think, in the server, which is Borosto, because I know that he's played on like -72C and some of the Far East Russian teams that were kicking around in various Asian leagues. And then the other 9, I have no idea. So I cannot wait to see what we're going to get from this this particular match. Because they're just, I mean, I know that there have been some Vietnamese teams kind of playing a little bit and dabbling in some CS in some of the Asia events. Bayman, I know Rossi Bob, he's coaching them. He's played on a couple of the Indian and South Asian teams as well in Counter-Strike, been committing a little bit there. Competing a little bit there. So, look, there's a couple of known prospects, but outside of that, I just want to see what we're going to get from the rest of the lads in the server. Get to know some new names.
Okay, and what about you, Dion? Who do you think is going to be able to take this out? Obviously, you know who's won the best of 1, but it's best of 3 territory, and I feel like map pools could be a good conversation here.
Yeah, anything can really happen in a best of one. We see that with the double overtime that these two teams did face off. Well, when they faced off against each other, drew to. We also know that both of them went 9-2 in the group stage as well. So they're pretty neck and neck, even Stevens there. Coming in towards this best of three, though, I think Bayman would probably eke out on top just a little bit by, going through, doing a math, getting some feelers out there here and there with all the scores that they've been putting up and such like that. In terms of the map veto, though, I think Dust 2 is probably a comfort field for both of these two teams, and then you could see something like a Mirage or a Train thrown out into the mix, so I wouldn't be surprised if those three, or two of the three, or something like that come into this veto.
Yeah, it'll be an interesting one once we get to that point, once we figure it out. Also, yeah, there's a few individuals on both these teams, so we can go through them. Like Bayman, they got Anastasis, they got Razing, they got Andy, Ignite, and Barosto, and then VTM are going to have Marco, Kaori, Sunny, KJ, and Maxim. So we'll see who ends up coming out on top. At the moment, we can see in the Discord who is here, who is not here. And Bayman have 2 players around, VTM have none. So that's a worrying sign for me.
Why is that worrying, Mac? Could you explain it
What
to
if
us?
they don't turn up? I'd love if they turned up.
That could make it hard to play a best of 3 semi-final if there are not 10 players in the server. So look,
Yeah.
I'm going to cross my fingers, I'm going to cross my toes, and look, hopefully we get a game here.
I have the info though.
You have info?
The three of us could play. What do you think of that?
I don't know if I'd have to check with the admin on the legalities of that. After seeing what Prolin could do on 380 ping, I don't think that I'm going to have much more success. You may as well let a bot run around.
You are a bot. I will give you that, Mac.
Yeah, I'm a bot.
At the
I'm a
best of times. Oh man, I don't even know what I'd be able to do on Counter-Strike in present day. Been about 10 years since I actively played, so that's going to make it a little bit hard.
No, that's fair. That's fair. I jumped in the other week with Conky. We had some fun. It was a bit different after a while. Can definitely see the thought process going through a lot of the players' minds in the transition of Counter-Strike Go in towards CS2. Veto's up.
Oh, hell yeah. That means we are definitely on the way to a game. We got Train, we got Mirage, we've got Dust 2, and I can't wait to see what we got. I'm just having a quick look at the actual Faceit lobby too. Obviously, everything's being played on Faceit. Anastasis is 3,500 elo, Barosto 3,800, and is number 4 in the region. So I feel like there's going to be a high disparity between both these teams in terms of pure raw elo firepower. Bayman is actually looking like they're coming through with a heavy advantage over what we're getting from VTM. So, yeah, we'll see what we end up getting. But then, in total, Train, again, could just be that bait pick for VT. They might think that, it's a good idea. But if you're going up against very skilled individuals to get to start CT side Train that have an idea of what to do, Pilly, what do you think's going to happen? The same as what we saw earlier?
I don't know. I don't think the teams even know. I think this is one of these games where you pick your maps in the veto, and then stuff happens. It's just kind of crazy to me that we've got 2 trains in an Asian event when I've been watching Asian events for the last X amount of years, and I can count on one hand how many trains I've seen between the main teams in Asia. But at least in this tournament, in this little micro meta, everyone just wants to play Train for some reason. I don't know what's going on with that.
Yeah, it's a good map. I like playing it. I feel like it's one of those things that will be a interesting map.
You were saying that Elo before, 3,500, 3,800. I don't even remember Milo. I don't even remember Elo being as much of a thing when I was playing. But you just had your levels and stuff like that. So what's your Elo, Mac? What are you rocking with?
I'm currently sub 2,300 because I've been solo queuing, but I was 2,700. I was trying to push to 3K by the end of the year, but clock's ticking.
There's not much of a year left.
I've got a few harsh words to say about solo queue in Europe.
That is level 10 though.
Over here. Huh?
That elo is level 10 though, so you're up there. You're up there.
Yeah, but I'm telling you, there are people at the same elo that I'm at that would be like level 6 in Australia. Like, it's actually insane.
Yeah.
Just the pure amount of people inflates it. Like everyone, you have level 10, you have level 10, you know how to shoot, you have level 10. There's this thing, right, where there's people from CSGO who were like level 4 or 3 in CSGO who are like, 3k elo somehow now. And back to the statement, Pilly, where you're like, oh, the elo, like, never mattered before. That's the same for me. We had our own sort of invite leagues and never really played for elo. So you don't play for elo, you move to Europe, then all of a sudden that's the only thing you can play for, because obviously I'm not going to be in an invite league over here, am I? No.
I mean, look, you made Oceania FPL, that's not too bad. I don't even remember there being elo when I was playing, though. Like, there might have been, but I don't think it was like as much of a big deal. Did it?
Yeah. That's how.
Yeah.
No, it did because that's how you got to level 10. You had like elo. I just don't know if it was like publicly displayed.
It was.
I only remember the levels.
It was hidden on the UI, and you had to like use one of them extensions to have the actual number show.
Right.
Now they've publicized the number, and there's regional rankings, and there's like the global rankings as well. Like Grat is number 1, for example, in the elo leaderboard. I think for all the SEA, if I'm not wrong, or something like that. So it goes across the board in that. Yeah.
But yeah, wow. It's a good example of what's going on, but also the Pugosphere is very much different to like a competitive game. And everyone from Australia watching, if you are playing in a small team and you've got decent communication, respect that, appreciate it, because over here, with 90% of the people you play with have English as a second language, as Grat was saying, sometimes things get lost in the source, including interpretation of many things. But look, that's a conversation for another time. Anyway, let's stop talking about elo because I'm gonna flip it. Billy,
hey,
who's your number one? Who's your number one in the server here?
Number 1 in the server? Oh, probably Barroso. Yeah. Like, East Russians just kind of build different. You had minus 72C at GR Gaming, just kind of going at it in some of the Asian leagues. So I've seen Barroso run around a little bit. He can be a bit of a savage sometimes. Have seen him AWPing, have seen him rifling and this and that. So he's definitely going to be my number 1 in the server if I was to pick one. He unfortunately is not a Malaysian player on Team Malaysia, but there you go. Sometimes you need your imports. Poland just went crazy for alter egos, so maybe the CIS region imports are going to be the big hitters here at AOC Masters.
Yeah, and it looks like this game isn't too far away even. It looks like it's just around the corner. So there was some technical difficulties, finding Mr. 5, but they've managed to find him, so it looks like we should be starting imminently, and I can't wait to see exactly what we get out of all these individuals. Train going to be the place where it all happens. Yeah. And hey, let's have some predictions here. I'm on the Bayman side of things. Dion, where's your cake?
Bayman, but they haven't played Train at all, whilst VTM have played it twice, and they beat the team across the pond in the New Zealand team. So 3 maps, but Bayman.
We'll take it. We'll bloody take it. What about you, Pilly?
Let's go for Bayman, because they've got Barroso, and that guy's pretty decent. If I was to hazard a guess, I haven't seen a Vietnamese team play for a little while, but when you look at the major kind of top Asian leagues, I would probably put my pennies towards an East Russian and some Malaysian players rather than some Vietnamese players, but I'd love to be proven wrong.
Let's see what we end up getting here out of VTM. And they are going to be starting on this T side. So we're off to the races.
Yeah, I mean, look, once upon a time, you would see like MVP Carnal or like Frostfire or something like that for Malaysian teams, and then you'd have like Skyred or something like that for Vietnamese teams many moons ago. But nowadays, you just don't see as many players active as you used to in the Southeast Asian scene for these regions, so there's Counter-Strike's concerned.
Yeah. Time to see if they can bring something back, though, for sure. Getting into the grand final here against an alter ego would be quite nice, quite fancy indeed. VTM, though, currently, they are posturing for a bit of a B-site pop at the moment to start off this pistol.
And Barosto in a solid position to deal with the ramp pop if it's coming through, and there's that molly. We've seen the same thing from every team on every pistol so far because it's goddamn effective. On the way in they go. Barosto just going to cut him off at the pass. Icy, the first to draw blood here, but oh, lovely hold. Barosto denying too much map control towards the backside of sight, but VTM just going to keep on pushing Baby 4 out of the equation, and it's easy and quick on the retake. VTM, at least with the bomb plant, going to be able to buy into the next, but Bayman out of the gates with a bit of action.
Yeah. Could call them Matt Bayman Esports, perhaps. They are looking pretty good at the moment. That's what I think of Matt Damon. CT side money. Going to be pretty good off the back of winning that one, Mac. Do you think VTM will buy here?
Oof. No. But they should. Okay, they did. Let's see. Dion,
Yeah.
if you had this whole equation of utility, where's it going? What are you doing?
Probably a bit of an outers fake, and then you're going into lowers, but you gotta remember, you don't want to run into Mr. Jason Bourne if we're going with some Matt Bayman things here. He'll destroy you. So, hit your shots. Draw out the utility from Bayman Esports. You make yourselves a little bit easier. You also want to try and get KJ on the line somewhere. He's definitely the big heavy hitter for VTM, for those that don't know, on who we need to kind of look towards here. So, set him up for success. Hit your shots. And throw in some utility to cause some chaos to Bayman. That's 3 points to follow.
Oh, man. Once it gets over 1 or 2, it starts to really get away from me. VTM, I mean, they haven't even really started point 1 at this point. You've still got to play it in spawn. That's only now 50 seconds on the clock, throwing some util. It's going to be a lurk smoke out the front side of T-Con, and it's going to creep in towards lowers. Nice timing on the smoke by Russing. Going to play up nice and close, personal with it. Big rotation towards inners here, though, from Bayman. They got a good read on this one.
Zing. Oh! Fully flashed. And that pop flash just a little too good for Bayman to deal with. However, 2 players in con going to respect the Molotov and then just flood on out and take them all before they can plant the goddamn bomb. What a collapse. And what a rough approach there for VTM. Just getting a bit overzealous, maybe overextending somewhat. Just plant the bomb. Solidify yourself. They're just running into the meat grinder.
Yeah, a little bit disconnected for them there. You kind of get a bit of an idea that they have the lesser weaponry. You want to get a little bit closer, and if you don't really see any CTs in the depth of the site, you take that space to try and get deeper with those pistols, shoot them on down with the lighter Mackies as well, but it doesn't really work out for them, unfortunately, and now you have the worst scenario. No pistol, no second round with a force up. You're off to one of the worst of T-side starts, but it is train, so it's not like it's uncommon.
Oh, nice opener out of pop there from Hatred. Ignite goes down on E-Box side. And across, back away as well. Aggression on Inner's Halls here for Russing, looking to try to hunt down Ignite. KJ's found one in the meantime. So the pistols are getting some damage done here. It's going to be a little bit awkward to complete this 3-on-4.
Ooh, lovely shot out of Icy. Ready as ever for that swing from Raising. And even so, I still feel like you can't count out Bayman, no matter what's going on. These 2 individuals looking like the more higher skilled from everyone in the server. And so much so that they are very confident just to stay split, one towards A, one towards B, and give themselves a shot
I think for me in this situation, if you're Ashy, so you're probably calling as well to put yourself as a body on the line and make sure that Icydale gets a trade with this A1S that you've picked up.
Good taps from Barosto, but traded out by Icy, all on a Narcissus. Not quite able to connect with that player on the backside of the bomb train. Molly will start to make these T's a little bit uncomfortable. Just waiting for someone to make a mistake, but not really being given too much of anything. It's so low on HP, the T's are just waiting for him to walk into their crosshair. Icy gives him a little bit of room to work with. And able to come out on the right timing in from CT Con there. Nicely navigated from VTM. The Pistols are able to put a pretty big dent into the economy of Bayman and flip the script on this game of Train.
Not bad, not bad. But you could see how much respect they had to give to him. Given that he is very scary, very spooky, already doing good work on these other individuals, thinning the numbers. And VTM going to be able to turn that one around off the back of an eco. Early Molly to deny any pressure from that lower ramp, but it's going to be Pop where it's coming from, raising all the way in through here, but the lovely Pop flash from VTM is going to get him off the line for just a moment. Baby with the opening, and again VTM are just going to be able to find themselves an advantage before it's entered by Endy.
Oh, is this going to be a scenario where we have eco for eco? Ende has picked up that AK with a HE as well, so you can get some good chipper damage onto somebody else on this VTM side to potentially finish off. Meanwhile, Anastasis has pushed all the way through. Ivy doing a good little impression from what we saw in Train previously from your old pole bandana.
VTM kind of bumbling around behind T-Con here. Only finally now starting to get a little bit organized. Lurk smoke to the front side of T-Con, going to prompt a little bit of a push here from Bayman. Do have Endy with the AK in hand, needs to get the majority of the work done. Ignite playing up close with the USP. Could try to thin the numbers a little bit before Bayman get involved in the action from Pop's side here.
Ooh, okay. Michelle's up. All the way out, and it's beautiful cleanup. Big three-piece to save it, but Endy almost keeps him guessing. These rounds just constantly coming down to a knife's edge. But VTM off to a better start here than maybe some were expecting.
Yeah, it does get close at the end there. When you do consider it was an eco from Bayman. Yeah, it was also on the back of an eco that VTM put themselves in that situation. So if they can shut down this buy round of Bayman, it would set themselves up for a potentially good scoreline on this T side of Train when you consider, you know, your 8-4s and such being a target for teams to strive towards. Got a money man in play as well here for Baby 4 on that Mac 10. So we'll see if it's going to be a little bit more pacey for VTM. Set them up on a bit of an adventure.
Get a little bit of a pause here. So, it's ironing out a couple little things. Assume it's a tech pause at this point. Oh, maybe attack. Not sure.
Yeah, it was attack.
It was attack, perhaps. Important kind of round for both of these teams. Bayman is starting to run out of cash. And you would be kind of soft reset if you lose this one as VTM. So, definitely wanting to get all their ducks in a row before they kick this one off.
Straight through all that damage, Baby. Lucky to be alive here, but an assassin, just chopping them down. No one able to stand on the side of red. And that angle from hell, just a little bit too much to deal with. Endy ends the fray, and Bayman, they're here to play. Stretching it out to another round and maintaining that lead.
That was nicely done with all the utility just going on down. And you catch VCM with the pants down a little bit for a big old multi-frag from Anastasis. It's what they kind of needed here to bring, start to bring some stability to their own economy. But it's not without its struggles coming into round number 6 either, because VTM have a bit of a lopsided buy of sorts too. An AK, an AWP, a couple of pistols.
Yeah, they force-bought an AWP here to try to make something work. Aggression over on pop side. Big spring in from Borosto. Able to take 2 with him, but surely traded out there. Racing looking to try to capitalize on that initial contact and is able to pull the numbers in the favor of Bayman, which is further extended by Anastasis. Finally, the hero AWP gonna get involved in the action. At least Hatred will be able to catch one on the cross. Beautiful preempt of the position on pop side, and now he's got himself a one-on-one.
Again, down to the wire, but the knife is out for Raising. Pulls out the AK just in time. And we'll get the angle onto Hatred. There's that timing. And there's another for Bayman. These rounds just punishingly fast. No real early rounds. They're just straight into it every single time.
Yeah, and they were early into it without the presence of that AWP as well, right? A lot of the action over towards the whole side of things, and just a little last-ditched attempt for a 1 versus 3, where there is some sharp shots to come out from that AWP. Just can't get the job done. Back to the eco territory now for VTM. It's where Bayman can start to extend their lead nicely and bring a little bit of that stability I was talking about to the CT side economy, unless we see more pistol shots come through from VTM.
Yeah, their pistols have been kind of crazy. I see that Molly won't flush him out of the corner inside of T-Con, so maybe a little bit of false sense of security for Bayman, but they have cleaned him out nicely. Racing just shoulder spotting towards low ramp. Molly will be forced out. So Bayman still feeling relatively comfortable, and they are going to continue playing forward on outside yard.
Ooh, looking for the opening, but Raising H to be able just to fend him off. Just barely. But single-handedly just locking onto that B site. 3 defenders over towards A. Although Andy has shifted to a 2-2 setup. Which does leave Borosto kind of open for the picking here if an A pop comes through. But with the bomb here in the hands of Baby and just a Glock to play with. I don't know about this one. Borosto very much in the power position. Good timing on the smoke there towards Pop. That'll deny vision and force Hatred out into the open. With no X-ray, you can see exactly what Borosto is cooking up here. Nice angles found. Ashelsa able to take 1 more rifle away, but it will be a 5th as Bayman lock in and start to stretch out the lead.
Yeah, but are they going to continue it? That's, I think, a big thing at the moment as well, right? When we look on it from an outside view and we see a couple of overtimes between these 2 teams in the group stage, you'd think it's a bit close, right? Neck and neck in the affairs to get to that situation, but very different when it comes to a best of 1 territory versus a best of 3. When you've got a map such as Train as well, that is still quite the CT-sided endeavor, it's makes you kind of question how much you can really read into this at the moment.
AWP on the uppers line. Racing able to open up the accounting nicely, catching Baby 4 off guard. The AWP goes undiscovered on upper ramp, and that slow peak is going to be punished in kind. 2-man advantage for Bayman before VTM can even get this inners pop off.
Again, just moving towards the mid-round. Plenty of utility for VTM. And Bayman still holding on to a lot as well. Realizing exactly how VTM like to play. It's good to see the slight adjustments that they're making in their playstyle. Slow peak here could be the end of whoever that is at upper, but they have fallen off. Great HE, but the follow-through just not quite there. And Anastasis just unable to do enough. Bomb going to get planted. Molly forces him out into the open. Hatred so damn low. 1 bullet will do the job. It's overkill with the headshot. Shell's not going to be able to find that angle. Barosto, too quick, too swift on that wraparound on the bomb site. And that's going to be 6 rounds secured.
There's some pretty good retake protocols to come through from Bayman there as well, right? Just quicken the comms to get the incendiary down the HE as well, and then push forward on the line. Feels like Ash Issa is always in these little last affairs attempts for VTM. A bit of the back of the pack. It's going to break their economy a little bit more to be back onto this eco as well. So for Bayman, a real chance to extend the lead, win the half. Maybe even keep on going and come out with a halftime scoreline that we saw from Alter Ego in the first series of the day.
He's still spotted by the AWP on the line. Posted down from Ivy. I thought he was blind, but able to catch KJ on the cross there. Once again, VTM, it really just continually feels like they're trying to test this lower ramp, and they've seen that same protocol a different time. Racing drops the molly right at their feet. Hatred finally breaking through after a bit of awkward spacing, but he's getting harassed by AG's mollies and multiple CTs running at him. That'll be Bayman to secure another CT side gun round, and this has just been domination from every single team that started CT side of train here. This just ain't it. The train pick has not been paying off.
What adjustments can VTM make now to try and get back in here? Look, at the top level is definitely enough, but here I feel like you're just going to need a few more. Just for that breathing room to get your economy sorted in the CT side. When you get there, and still 3 rounds to potentially take. A lovely shot out of Anastasis.
Oh, you need to see a big swing from VTM here. Be competitive on this T side. Losing Icydal first is definitely not what you want. You don't really have any good, comfortable space either, right? You can see the fallen backline from Racing too, changing things up. So it has that incense that you can throw down deep if you need to buy yourself a little bit of time as well, but you're not really feeling too pressured in this scenario as Bayman.
No, I feel like Anastasis is just kind of dominating the server, AWP in hand. 14-4 overall. VTM, it feels kind of lifeless from them. 44 seconds. Dry walking their way through the map. This is a dirty off angle from Endy that should catch them off guard, and this forward crossfire across the front side of the train yard is just posing way too many problems for VTM here. Ignite for another, and a 1v4 attempt from Hatred that I don't think he's even going to take. He just wants to hold on to the AWP.
Yeah, 20 seconds here. That pop is a pretty long save, and now with position known. Bayman. Oh, they're just respecting it. Maybe they'll go for the hunt after time, but they know that the bomb's down. And they will show that respect eventually. 8-2. The round lead getting more and more out of hand as the rounds go by. And it's an effort by committee. Bayman, most individuals turning up. 15-4 for an Anastasis. And Barosto not doing too bad either. Ooh.
Oh no. Not baby 4.
Not baby 4.
He was
Not
so
like
young.
this.
He was still a baby. Oh, we're just going live, are we? All right. Oh, that. What?
No.
No. But.
Hey. Force paused.
Unlucky.
And now we're chilling.
Yep.
Man, look at the little water droplets on the knife skin. That's CS2 for you. That's gorgeous.
It is gorgeous.
I feel like throwing some
Definitely
rainy
worth
mood on.
The definitely worth the frames you lose just to look at water on a knife.
Oh, bro, come on. You're not one of those guys, are you? I need to maximize my frame rate.
Settings all low. Got to get
Bro,
the
if you're
highest
playing with the
FPS
610
you
Hz
can.
monitor, that's all I'm saying. You got to get rid of the
Yeah, you need the frame. Yeah, that's true.
You need the frames.
I'll tell you what, AOC, send me a 610 Hz monitor and I'll play on the lowest settings. I'll do it. I'll sacrifice the droplets for every drop of FPS.
I'll do the exact same thing. I don't even know if my PC can push 600 FPS, 600 plus FPS. But we'll make it happen.
Did
Get out Valve one time.
Did you come to like the anime cafe in Korea?
I did,
When we
yeah.
were doing the 10 minute. Oh man, that's what we need. You need an anime
Dude, that's
Genshin
crazy.
Impact PC.
It was
You
like 900 FPS in an
was
anime
ridiculous.
cafe. It was crazy.
And then at the proper esports cafe, which I won't name, I was getting like 140.
130.
It's all about the anime net cafes, Mac, you know?
That's what it's all about. I went
Yeah,
to it
it
when I
is.
was in Chengdu. I went to an anime mall. There was like 9
Wow.
floors of just anime and shops, and everywhere had like costumes and memorabilia and gacha, and it was a lot. I like stumbled upon it accidentally. I walked in and I was like, oh, maybe there'll be like a tech shop here. No, it was just 7 or 8 floors of just anime and manga and cosplayers. Because I went on a Saturday. I don't know if there was an event, bro, but there was like 1,000 cosplayers, and I'm not even kidding. Like, that was crazy. It was insane. Never seen it.
Nice. Nice. Well, it's good to know about all of your adventures, but we're going to get back into the game now and see. Look, honestly, at this point, I think VTM is going to need the power of anime and God on their side if they're going to make a comeback on this T-sided train, because it's not going well for them, Dion.
No, not at all. But hey, they've got weaponry this time to at least try and establish something. So we'll give a benefit of the doubt. They are equipped with some things here to get the job done and be the protagonist in this battle. Or maybe be the anti-protagonist and try to elicit some different feelings to the viewers.
Well, they're sending the warning sign over towards Ivy. And Assassis ready and waiting there with the AWP, though. And Raising playing a pretty dangerous position on this B site. But at the minute mark, we'll start to rotate that smoke towards lower and try and catch a timing. Calling Barosto across to the party. VTM not really finding any substantial map control. No main control, just a lurker at Ivy and Brown Halls. There's not a lot you can do with it. You're very limited.
It's felt like a pretty similar approach from them for a number of rounds now, and you can see a fair bit of util being held by Bateman. They're well aware that they're just running the clock down in multiple rounds. VTM just kind of plugging away at the map in various spots and then going for a late round execute towards Inner's Hatred, looking for a pick on Pop, but has already been smoked off, and they're going to commit to outside here. Ignite has no idea that they're about to run through the Pop smoke, but it doesn't really matter because the CTs are cleaning them up nonetheless. That was an Inner's fake into an outside pivot through Pop side, and it got absolutely shreked.
There is just no time on the clock that VTM had to play with there. They cut that rope short themselves, did not give themselves enough to play with, and it just feels really awkward. No breathing room to, pick up the pieces when they start to crumble. It's just very one-dimensional to come through from them there, unfortunately.
Well, let's see what they've got for us here in the final round of the half. All bought up, getting as much as they can possibly bring to the table. And it is just going to be eyes on B again, straight through the white halls into the brown halls. Ooh, it looked like Raising wanted to get a little frisky with that, but here's all the util coming that direction. And we'll just have to give up that control. Calling Barosto across again. There's that rotation player in con. And DTM. Maybe an earlier approach towards B. Again with the limited utility. Only going to have one real shot at this.
Still a molly here for both Barosto and Racing. to defend. Molly goes a little earlier in towards upper ramp, so at least one of the pieces of utility that they won't have to contend with should this Inner's play come in momentarily. Progression smoke to try to create a little bit more space for KJ, and it's a great entry for him. Barroso doubles down from upper ramp, though.
Oh, bomb plant starts to go down, and you got the rest of the cavalry starting to arrive for Bayman for this retake. But Baby 4 has snuck in through the oil train, looks the wrong way as Anastassis finds them, and Ignite will be there for the close. We will have double digits found in this half for Bayman Esports.
Not bad, not bad. Well played by Barosto. You can see as well the kind of difference that you're getting from a few of these individuals in these spots. Bayman initially, it felt like they were trying to disrespect VTM somewhat at the start of the half, but as we move into the second, it is VTM's time to shine. But a pistol's going to hopefully go a long way for them. If they lose this, you know, my confidence in what they can do here in the second half is going to be fleeting.
Yeah, rightfully so. Got some heavy hitters on the side of Bayman, Anastassis, Barroso, Andy all doing very nicely for themselves. VTM got a lot of work to do on this CT side. Baby 4 to take first contact from upper ramp. Definitely needs to have a little bit of impact before this T-side ball gets rolling, but he will fall off the line for now.
It's going to be the potential life of a B-site player on the map of Train. See if these dualies are going to be able to sing a different tune, though, at the moment for Ash Issa. And an early B take for Bayman. They start to flood out in towards the site, and the dualies, well, they start to make mincemeat of them at the moment, looking for maybe even all 5. KJ steals one away. And it's all down to Barosto, who's not fired a single shot until just now, but isn't even going to be able to find a kill. All 5 alive across the board for VTM. They claim the pistol.
Okay. Necessary and secured. A shell sup. A lovely little sequence there with the Julies. You don't see it too often that it gets kills like that. But we'll see what we get here out of Bayman. Not bringing anything in. Just pistols across the board. A couple of deagles in the mix even. Just for the extra one tap potential. Oh, okay. KJ spotted there on the slow peek. But speaking of, Anastassis straight into Hatred's crosshair, as is Barosto. And this is looking like it should be all she wrote for round number 14.
Yeah. All investment in the rifles, I think maybe anticipating some kind of force in, but with no bomb plant for Bayman, there wasn't really much they could put together there. That's clean as you want it, though, for VTM. They need to ensure that they're able to bring as much as they can through a lot of these anti-ecos if they're going to put together such a big comeback, because they're not going to have much of a margin for error with Bayman already sitting on double digits.
You can say that again.
Yeah, there's kind of really just not going to be any margin for error, like, in all honesty. So we'll see how much they're going to be able to run in with this round now that the weaponry is present for Bayman. But it's very lackluster in terms of the utility. Not a single flashbang that Bayman have to bring behind them in towards this round. And the utility that they did purchase is kind of all gone already. A couple of progressive utility, 2 mollies and a HE. You're going to have to potentially just see some oversteps from VTM to give Bayman some chance.
Solid setup from VTM as well. That pop to lower ramp crossfire is incredibly fatal for any Ts that walk into the trap, but there is no Ts coming this direction. It's an entry towards Ivy that they have to worry about. Hatred, he's just around the corner, and it's all about who's going to make their first move. A Shelter as well, just on that backside of the halls.
Yeah.
And the CT's poised, ready to strike.
Yeah, 4 CTs committed towards outside. Here's the dry approach. Spacing is decent. There's the flank coming in through Ivy. Activated and dealt with. It's all onto Barosso. And unfortunately, it was not too inspiring of a round here on this T side from Bayman. Running straight into the crab of Baby 4. That is a very nice opening gun round won by VTM.
Yeah, you start to question a little bit now as well for Bayman. Is it worth, you know, making sure you get the extra utility going into your next gun round, because you're probably going to need it. If you're not able to find a couple of these crispy duels and get these crossfires and these, well, rather trades properly done, VTM are just going to bolster down on the lines, make sure that they've got these trades potentials, these crossfires coming on out, the standard CT things on this map.
Look how far out Anastasis is. Playing, oh, cheeky through the smoke, but KJ fortunately on top of the new box, ready for the little scrimmy maneuver. Cheeky, sneaky, and everything in between. And Bayman now, man down, just going to group up and pop out B.
Yeah, got some pistols to work with. 1 or 2 quick entries could be pretty effective here. There is great util to be able to actually hold this in as pop, but they're just holding down the high percentage positions nice and easy there. Shelter and Baby 4 combining for every single frag that was needed. And it very much feels like VTM starting to pick up more and more momentum on this CT side. Their economy is looking pretty excellent at this point. You got 5-dig economy for Baby 4 and Shelsa. But we still need to see some proper gun rounds here for Bayman where they actually have some util to work with before we kind of draw any hard conclusions.
I mean, we know how heavily favored this map is on the CT side, but I don't think coming into this best of 3 that VTM are picking this map expecting, you know, that the CT side is going to be the savior, right? They picked the map. You would expect more things on the T side. We didn't see it. So they are pushed up against the wall in having to do a lot of things on this CT side. So I like the little bit of aggression that they've got going down in the Ivy side of things. The 2-man play to then send Baby 4 back when you've got Hatred on the line with this AWP. As Bayman, they start to set things up towards this B site. You've already got a bit of a shuffle happening from VTM as well over to this area.
Here comes the exec. Aggression utility. Molly towards Con. A Shelsa in a power position and already has that helping hand. 3 players already here. That Molly denying a 4th, but oh my lord. Shots at a Hatred looking damn good. And a Shelsa not quite mollied out. Will have a safe space to play around here up on the platform. Ooh, Hatred swinging back. He's going to be able to thin the numbers even somewhat more. Bayman, that 11th round was just there. There's for the taking, and now it's down to the 1v1. A Shelsa, HE going up, and ooh, big damage. 1 bullet should be able to get the job done, and it will. A Shelsa, plenty of time to get the defuse off, and the retake successful. VTM making a comeback a reality.
For sure. Bayman, though, maxing out the loss bonus with the bomb plant, should still be able to put together more and more buy rounds here on this T side. Keep trying to crack in and break through. It's where VTM, though, they've done an excellent job building up their money. Like, they can definitely take their licks on this CT side and continue reinvesting everything that they need to continue on this comeback train. Full momentum with them.
Yeah, for me, when you see that AWP in play for Hatred, you don't want to give him those long lines over at that B site because he's just hitting those shots. You also don't want to be stabbed in the back by your teammate in the beginning of a round. Borosto will eventually be felled, assisted by his teammate in Ignite, but what is that? A very quick answer back over at Ivy from Bayman to equalize 3-3.
Not too bad. Heads up to realize that flank was coming through. And KJ going to be realized, dealt with. And that makes Icy's job that much harder on the A site. Shelsa so far has been the hero that VTM has needed. And they're still alive and kicking here. But a long way from where the action looks like it is going to end on the A site.
Bayman really taking their time here. Had an early couple of exchanges in the early to mid round. That's allowed them to slow things down quite substantially and still have a fair bit of time to play with. Do have that one player, Ignite, just chilling in pop, waiting for some kind of inners flank while Bayman used the buddy system to creep through Ivy towards backhauls, but that's a great timing for a Shelter to punish them for exactly that. Nice 2K from him, and it's all down to Ignite, who has got to get his hands on the bomb first.
Ooh, they've just given a bit of a spot towards Ignite as well. So if you're a Shelter at the moment and Icy Dal, you know that you can just play for the closure of this round. And I mean, there's just no time to even go and get that bomb plant down. Take the AWP and bring it into the next round. Feels bad as well for Bayman. They get themselves into finally an advantage on this T side in that 3 versus 2, but maybe a little bit lacking in the comms department, in the quick reactions for Ende when he loses Anastasis. Yeah, a bit of a disconnection there, but regardless, VDM, even from behind in these little moments, bringing it back, we start to get closer. We start to get very interested to see how much further of this CT side run VTM can come out with.
Yeah, the question is how many. That's crazy that they ended up winning that one as well. Damon felt like they were in the perfect position to make it happen, but maybe just overthinking it a little too much. And I feel like after that first half, I just really didn't expect this from VTM, but I'm kind of glad we're getting it. A nice close game. A breath of fresh air after the other 3 maps we've watched today, which have been relatively one-sided. Ignite just basking in the glory of the rain. Asking someone from the heavens above for an answer. What's the call? Where do we go? How do we get that 11th round on the board? Because so far this half has been a little too formidable from VTM.
KJ blowing open the sandwich smoke nice and early on to deny any chance of creeping out T-Con. Aggression straight into Pop. It's a Pop lower ramp crossfire. There's so many CTs over here. There's bloody 4 towards inners. And Bayman going to call the audible straight towards the outside side. Just hold for that Pop swing.
Oh, you can feel it though at the moment. The swing out from Baby 4 to their demise. An AWP battle as well. If you stretch out further as Hatred, but you're kind of waiting on a little bit of time for Ash Easter to keep on pushing all the way through the halls. Get that wraparound T-Con. It's eventually going to come out, and it's going to come out super early. There's a slight bit of awareness though at the moment from Racing. He's watching for it. Moves at the wrong time. Pays the price. And you know, you don't want to have a bit more of an overextension now from VTM. It does come in. We keep going backwards and forwards until it's only Hatred and Ende. Are we finally going to get a round on the board for Bayman here?
Let's find out. Swing all the way to E-Box, and Hatred is feeling it, but the bullets. Need a few more of those, Andy. Up on the back of Bomb. We'll have some space to play, but Hatred is that little bit better today. Hitting the final blow, and another on the board. Just one away from tying things up here on Train.
Just on a generational run on the CT side right now. Cannot be stopped, even in the one-on-one. Even in a really, I would say, pretty good pivot towards outside after realizing there was a big stack towards inners. It doesn't really make a difference, unfortunately, for Bayman. Nothing that they do at the moment is resulting in a round. Shelter's going crazy on this CT side right now. Hatred's hitting everything with the AWP. It's a recipe for success for VTM. And Bayman, it's another one of these buys where they have got the bomb plant down, but down to 8Ks and pretty light util in a round like this.
They're missing the taste of what it feels like to have a round at the moment. So far, we've had 7 in a row from VTM on the half exchange. A couple of these rounds as well where Bayman have been in the lead, have had the opportunities. Does quickly flip back over towards VTM. Looking to now try and tie things up on the map pick of their own.
A little too frisky with it, Baby. Going very far forward, but not quite expecting Icy in the same spot. And now with the outside cleared out fully on the yard. VTM are going to go for a rotation, but Bayman still have members here in Pop. They were smoked off, they were slowed down. But with the man disadvantage, it's still going to be that much harder, especially with how we see VTM currently playing.
Yeah, I mean, it feels like they're in flow state. Bayman It's just a little bit uninspiring. Creep down low ramp, straight into the MVP player right now for VTM. Takes one down for Bayman before they can even get out onto the site. Try to stick the plant inside of the Molotov, and he goes down. You can't be doing that, mate. And Ignite, aptly named, because that's exactly what happened to his teammate.
That's crazy, mate. Absolutely crazy. Though, I gotta say, VTM, they lose Baby 4. And there's some good little decision-making that they do over on that outer yard as well, right? They blow open the smoke, which is a little bit of a distractor, which catches Bayman in a bit of a problematic position. Looking the wrong way. And then you've got Ash Elsa at the right spot with the right utility. I think you've hit the nail on the head in the flow state department as well. They're definitely making the right decisions, hitting the shots where they weren't able to do so on the T side at the start of this map. Showcasing very strongly that Train is quite a beast on the CC side.
Oh, KJ in such a solid looking position, and he's going to be able to find one, but the trade's favoring Bayman. After those entries, Baby going to be able to make his way back out to E-Box, but will he expect the smoke screen? Will that even come through? It's all about the site play that they need to worry about, but he won't be able to make his way through camera. Ignite finally taken out of Shelsa, and it's all up to Baby, who was known earlier, but the reposition is crucial. And we're down to the 1v1 yet again. Makes his way back to Con. And unfortunately makes the misread, but Ignite knows exactly where he's gone.
Ollie. Going to be a sound cue there for Baby. That is going to be the outside plant. Wrap back around. Through backhalls. See if he can catch Ignite off guard. Ignite, though, feeling pretty safe to just tuck himself in pop and wait for the tap here.
Has a kit, has a flash, has a smoke. I've seen many defuse attempts in these sort of scenarios, especially on this map too, when you've got a lot of open angles, but it's going to be the con smoke, the tap on the defuse, the Ignite to swing on through, misses the chance and the opportunity to get the kill as Baby steams ahead towards Pop out of ammo. That should be the round done and dusted. We finally have Bayman Esports finding their first T round. Now reclaim the lead. Has it all been a fake comeback for VTM?
Two more needed. But with how VTM are going, are they still going to be able to thrive in the momentum? Or has it completely been stunted? So many of these rounds have come down to a knife's edge this map so far. And you can see Bayman as well. Their economy's still not in a good place. 2 mollies, 1 flash and a nade. 20 seconds into the round. That is not a good place to be. And with Baby posted up here over on those stairs. It was on the advanced angle, but he will be able to escape. And does have a helping hand of a Shelsa towards the low ramp. Reposition for Baby. We'll just repost and allow that rotate from a Shelsa back to A.
Bayman grouping up for a play towards outside, though. A 1-4 through T-Con and Pop. Re-smoke onto T-Con. Going to kind of break up the push a little bit. And there are so many CTs in this neck of the woods. KJ trying to take contact from the bomb chamber with Shelsa going down. It's going to be very hard to defend this one. CTs are starting to get a little bit more space on outside than with the trades going back and forth in the favor of Bayman. It looks like they might be able to pick up map point here.
Ooh, Hatred. Gotta be careful. Not gonna be expecting Brosto here. The gun barrel of the AWP just peeking on through. And now Baby 4. And an AWP in a 1 versus 3. Generally not the gun that you want to have in your possession. Racing will get the last one. And Bayman will now find map point. They've started to find the sparkle on this T side.
One round in it. And that's going to be a complete gut punch to VTM. Wind out of their sails. And just, like, they had so much money. We saw them 5 figures for many individuals going into the later rounds of this half. And if Bayman take them down now, that's just going to be a knock to the confidence, especially moving into the second map of the series. KJ ready to potentially get frisky with it. I thought he was going to get flashed in, but he's just poised and taken out Anastasis. Won't be able to find another, but that smoke buys time and space. And with the man advantage, VTM in a position to succeed.
Yeah, definitely. Got a pretty deep control of the inners halls as well. Bayman still pretty split approach. Ignite very much convinced that there is a player over towards Pop. But in this bait setup, could be difficult to deal with. Nice little dink onto Baby 4. It's going to keep things interesting. Ignite finally cleaning him up. Icy getting involved in the action. It's a double up from Pop. VTM looking good now.
Yeah, meanwhile, no real space that the remaining two players have been able to find free of charge. Racing spotted out, going through the Ivy. Lurk, the Molly tickling them down as well. Polished off by Hatred. And now it's all on to Barosto. The bomb on the back, but a 1 versus 4. Well, there are a couple of low players on VTM's side, but no matter which way that you cut this one, it is a difficult situation to attempt with 30 seconds to go.
Yeah. Insurmountable. Shadow advantage, and even so, Shells are going to be taken out. Smoke goes down. 2 players low. And Icy, not in a great position either. Oh my lord, especially now with a shot like that. Sees another come out, but there's only 10 seconds to plant, and we'll find the first, but not the second. Oh, that was way too close for comfort. Barosto almost sending a message.
To round 24 here. Both teams just putting together whatever they possibly can. There's only one player surviving in the server there. Neither one of them are particularly happy about how their money is looking. We'll have to skimp on some things. More so for Bayman on the T side, though. Some of them with 2750 is not the position that you wanted to be in to try to push this game across the line. VTM looking very good to push us into OT here. See if they're able to take advantage of that. No AWP going to be in their hands. So you're not going to be seeing any bangers from Hatred in that regard. But outside of that, the buy is looking pretty nice for the CT side here. Definitely favoring VTM to close this one.
I'm just looking across the board at the moment. Back towards when these two teams played last time in that BO1. That 19-17 that Bayman managed to come out with. Anastasis ended with 41 kills. It was KJ leading the charge over on VTM. Seen a little bit more absence from KJ in this one, where Ash Issa is really stepping up in the map pick of VTM's.
What is this left and right-handed nonsense? Ignite, stop it. What year we playing in? Good molly towards the low ramp just to try and create some pop space. Baby with the smoke break. Oh, it was right there. The pick was right there, but Bayman going to be able to find an opening elsewhere. Back to the 4v4, Barosto. Now out towards the yard side is just looking to try and wrap around, especially with the sandwich smoke fading, but it's the backside they need to worry about. There's so many members that have made their way all the way through Ivy. Sight is theirs, straight through the molly. Oh, it's Dire Straits and VTM. They want OT so badly, they're making mistakes.
For sure. There's got to be a milkshake here because there are so many boys in the yard. They're all set up around the bomb. This is a nightmare retake here for VTM, running close range into a Tech 9 from Anastasis there. Bayman is going to barely scrape that one across the line. All 24 rounds it took them, but they're able to get it done.
10-2 was the halftime scoreline here. That CT side, very strong for Bayman. Very strong for VTM as well, but when push comes to shove, right at the end of the map, we tie things up. And Bayman say no. We've got a couple of extra little bits to go. A little bit more gas in the tank, and they do finish it. 11 is all VTM find on their map pick of choice in this BO3. It's got to feel pretty rough for them, because I would have said if you're getting into that comeback territory 10 apiece, you feel like you're going to be able to close this one out.
Yeah, the momentum was there. The confidence certainly was as well. But as mentioned, you know, these teams, especially in that best of one they played during groups, it looked like a very close affair, like an incredibly close affair. And again, we got almost the exact same thing. But didn't quite get overtime this time. But we do still have so much more Counter-Strike to play. And I am so excited to see what they've got for us on the second map. After a drawn-out train, the fake comeback just unable to be finished. And we'll see if that's going to be the straw that breaks the camel's back for VTM. But they showed that they are capable. They are very skilled individuals here in the game of Counter-Strike 2. And I can't wait to see a little bit more. Because, you know, mechanically, they were hitting everything. And Mitch, just one kudos for you. That's probably the best line I've ever heard from you in that final play.
What do you mean?
Milkshakes.
Oh, yeah. Great song. Great, absolute banger of a song. Almost as good as that shot from Barosto. You know, he almost put that clutch together as well to get it done. So, look, lovely stuff for Bayman to barely scrape that one across the line. And, look, I think they're looking pretty good for the 2-0 now here. I think VTM, they were a little bit too lifeless on that T side. But yeah, CT was looking bloody good. Like, Ash Elser in particular was great. Hatred, when he got his hands on the AWP, he was hitting absolutely everything. And I like the fact that they weren't afraid to change up the setups a lot. Like, some of the time they were playing heavy towards Ivy. 1 or 2 rounds, they just said, screw it, and 4-manned inners, you know, against that slow kind of default on the T side. You got to be willing to mix it up sometimes, like a milkshake.
Exactly. I love that we've gone full circle there. But look, the thing for me is there are some individuals. I don't know if some of them are subs or what for at least VTM, because the names are not familiar with what we're seeing from them on their team roster. And I want to know like who's who. It could also just be the fact that, you know, when people play on Face It, they have the different names in Face It.
They do, yeah. So from what you see, Deldrill is Icy Del, Sunny is Hatred, Bay before is Maxim, or the other way around.
Okay.
Yeah.
You did the Steam profile, little research.
Something like that.
Yeah, beautiful.
Beautiful. Yeah. Map 2 though, Mirage. This was the map that they did play in that best of 1 as well. So it makes me think that you know, it was, you know, kind of. I'm looking back on it. Okay, so VTM actually decided to go to Mirage in that best of 1. VTM just picks Train, so it means that for whatever reason, Bayman feels like Mirage is okay to go back against VTM then.
Yeah, maybe there's some weaknesses established. Maybe there's some counter-stratting coming around the grounds, which is always something that happens, especially when there's money on the line, and of course the chance chance for glory. You could be putting a little trophy, little reward on your holder as well, winning the AOC Masters tournament. AOC Masters 2025 is certainly going to be something that you want, you know, as a team. You know, every tournament's a tournament, and you want to win those tournaments. You want to be the bloody champion, Mitch, don't you?
Yeah, every tournament is undoubtedly a tournament. If there's anything that I've learned from over almost 10 years of casting now, that is definitely one of the things that I know in my heart of hearts. And look, I don't know if anyone's going to be able to beat Alter Ego. I don't know if either of these teams necessarily. Maybe a VTM CT side would be able to beat Alter Ego, because that was a hell of a run. Yeah. That was a generational run that they were on. And unfortunately, just one bad round and one 1v1 loss is all that it took for them to, you know, lose the game in the tournament that was a tournament. So that's pretty sad. But the series is not over. It could be reverse sweep time, Mac. I know you'd love to sweep, because you have got a hell of a broom right under your nose there.
Certainly do. I do love to dust the ground with it very regularly, or de-dust the ground. The best way to do it. That's what brooms do, brother. And there's a lot of dust in Malta.
That'll do it. That'll do it.
Yep.
Komodo, aren't you Maltese?
I'll take you for it. Yeah. No, my family is Maltese. That is indeed correct.
Wait, I thought you were Italian, or are you both?
No, my family is Maltese, and I am very jealous that you're there, because you could have all the pastizzis that you want, and I can't have authentic pastizzis in Australia.
That's true. There is a lot of pastizzis. I have taken. I took Darth Mike to what's it called? Crystal Palace. I don't know how to say it in Maltese, but Crystal Palace is like the famous place for pastizzis over here, and we loved them. They were some big old pastizzis, and I'd go there again.
Is Söken. I think is the...
Yes, that you're circling. I don't know how to say it
Yeah.
because I think some
Yeah.
letters are not.
Oh, they're not.
You know
English,
what I mean? Like,
yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm glad you know that though. Have you been?
No, I was doing a different travel when my family actually all went last year, so I missed out.
Okay.
Yeah.
There you go.
One day.
One
Yeah, you
day
guys-
indeed.
Bonding like that just brought a tear to my eye. That was gorgeous.
Yeah. What else we got? You cooking up the rabbit regularly?
Nah,
Nah. Oh, not that level. Not that level.
not that level.
That's all right. Look, it's
No.
not for everyone.
There was a lot of rabbit stew for my dad growing up.
That's true.
Yeah.
There's a lot of. I found one or two places with horse on the menu. Haven't dabbled yet. Seems a bit weird. But look, each to their own. One of them things, innit?
It is. It is a thing.
It is a thing. Just
And
like
it's
a tournament's
time.
a tournament, and a heart's a heart of a heart. Mitch, I'm glad
And the
that
Mirage is a Mirage.
It certainly
Mirage
is.
Star
Always
Mirage.
be Mirage.
Hell yeah. Map 2 of the
should be-
series. Let's get into it. Can VTM hit back, or are Bayman going to be able to beeline their way straight into the grand final to meet Alter Ego? Let's find out, Mitch.
Oh, I'd love to find out, and I'd love nothing more than to find out with you two gentlemen in particular. I think Bayman, they've got probably a little bit better of a chance on this T side because they did love a bit of a contact dry approach, a little bit more of a simplistic kind of take on a lot of those T side rounds on train. They had a tough time breaking through on them. This time it will be some decoys thrown out towards this A side of the map to try to draw out a reaction, a little bit of a utility. Bayman throws a fake towards B. This round has got layers to it. It's like an onion. And Dion, I know you love Shrek, so please take it away.
I like some barbecued onion. Shrek is also cool. Didn't realize how many Shrek movies there actually are right now, but there's a lot of players in the server, and we start to remove them with Barosto finding KJ, Icy Falls as well, and it is just all lemons in that round for VTM. Not a single frag found. Bayman, very convincing T-side pistol.
I thought Mac was going to tell us what his favorite Shrek movie is, but he's... Oh, you're back? What is your favorite Shrek movie?
My Shrek movies. I love Shrek movies.
What's your favorite?
The first,
One.
the original is the best.
This is true.
What's your favorite Shrek movie?
Probably Shrek the Third.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know if I've seen that one. Definitely seen the second.
Should give it a go.
Yeah, one day. One day maybe.
Do you guys know that there's, like, gonna be a number 5?
There was a fourth.
Yeah.
There was a 4th. In
My
2010. And we get number 5 in 2027.
Oh my god.
17 years later.
Surely that's going to be the best one if it's been in the works for that long.
Yeah, especially if Shrek actually aged like 17 years. How are they going to deal with that?
Oh.
Magic.
How long do ogres live for?
I don't know, but I know they got layers. So I think each year they get an extra layer. So they just they live more.
Does that mean that they could get younger if they, like, ditch a layer?
Yeah, it's like a snake,
Yeah.
you know? Same thing.
Shed.
Look
At what
up.
point in the timeline do you think they made Shrek Smash and Crash Racing?
Did they make that? What?
Yeah, you haven't played Shrek Smash and Crash Racing? It's my favorite
like-
game.
It was like Simpsons Hit and Run or something.
My fellas in the Bandicoots have been done a little bit by that title.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Oh, no.
Oh, knife.
Props
He booked
for the
him!
intent.
Oh, that reminds me of PDC attempting to do that on Nuke once upon a time, and that happened to him.
Ah, bloody Patricius. He's always up to something. That
Yeah,
It
bloke.
was an
Right.
ambitious knife. When there's no back exposed.
When there's no back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But props for the effort. There was some typing in chat. I'm assuming it was an NT for the respect.
Yeah, look. Unfortunate. I think he thought that Ashelsa had been hitting some rows, some pull downs, but no back. Was spotted there, Mac. So unlucky.
Unlucky indeed.
Yeah. You know what we do spot though now? We spot some guns for VTM. So let's see if they can get on the board on this CT side now on this map of Mirage. They are just stampeding up a storm towards Barosh though. I'm going to shut him down quick as you like it. But a couple of backwards and forwards components in the rest of the round. You forget that the bomb has been left in T-spawn.
They don't need the bomb, Dion. We've got guns! Look at Anastasis over there on Catwalk. He's been able to take down Hatred. 1 minute and 15. It doesn't bloody feel like it. We're in a 2-on-2. These are some weird positions. It's all down to timings, Mac.
Whoa. And Icy's going to crack one of those timings as well as ahead. And with a minute on the clock, there's plenty of time for Ignite to go for the full rotation back to the B site off of that information, picking up the package in the meanwhile. But look at this approach, look at this positioning. Icy going to hear everything, formulate the fast flank, and we'll just play off the info. Let Nashelsa get closer so it's not just 2 1v1s.
Yeah.
Ignite, in the meanwhile, will be gifted the opportunity and space to plant, but I don't think he expects Icy here.
Maybe not this quick. He's going to look to reposition himself, though, in towards the market. Maybe do some shopping at the moment. You got a flashbang. So you got at least a good here to be able to utilize. Didn't see the jump up, though, from Icy down to the van. And that means VTM are going to grab their first buy up and steal a couple of AKs as well.
Like, honestly, needed the ultra-wide monitor for that. Maybe the CS25G could have been a good choice in that situation, Mac. But look, didn't quite have what he needed to see the jump up on van there.
Maybe not. That's unfortunate, isn't it?
Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah. In your professional opinion, what is this pause, Mitch?
Look, some would say tactical, some would say technical. I believe this might be a spiritual pause. We're really trying to get in tune.
Okay.
Yeah. With what it means to play Counter-Strike.
What chakras are we going with here?
Yeah.
You speak about getting in tune, though, but they removed the ambient music. So it's like, what are we getting in tune with?
Oh, look. Bit of this, bit of that. Apparently, this is a technical timeout due to some potential internet issues. But it looks like we either are ignoring those or they have resolved themselves. Okay, we're getting back into it.
Love that. Ooh, Barosto. Mollied off, but making noise early towards that B site. Hasn't drawn that much attention. VTM all in on the mid fight. 4 members brought in with the flashes. And they're going to be able to find Anastasis, which does allow Raising to pick up the AK. Fall back somewhat, but tucked into the corner. Not going to be in too much drama. As we already see VTM relinquishing mid control, just going for the 2-2 split. And Bayman in the meanwhile. All eyes on the A side.
You have to see a couple of slip-ups at the moment from VTM to give Bayman a way back in, and that's exactly what the doctor ordered there. Hatred caught in transition. And you already knew that someone else was here as Ignite. What you were trying to spot out earlier on. What else can you figure out with 45 seconds to go? Unfortunately for Ignite, nothing.
A little bit of a mini execute. Out of Palace doesn't get anything done when KJ jumps on up. Oh no! Icy tried to go for the cheeky one tap. Got the quick switch straight off the back of that. 25 seconds on the clock, but with the bomb inside of Palace, I think Racing probably just going to let this one go by the wayside and hold on to his AK for future rounds. VTM keeping this one a little bit more tight and competitive than the first half of Train is looking like.
Con cleared out. And VTM not going to go for the hunt. Not going to be close enough to find him. But there you go. Much better early couple of rounds out of VTM. 2 AKs carried across to the next is going to put them in a very confident position. But Bayman just not quite expecting that pressure coming out at mid.
Yeah, sometimes a little bit too lackadaisical as well, though. Alright, gotta set themselves up on this T side and really give themselves their own opportunities instead of letting VTM present themselves at a bit of a sloppy spot. Seeing a lot of that missing component from Bayman over on Train.
Hatred's got the AWP out again. That could be a recipe for success here for VTM. Baby 4 starts things off quite nicely. I haven't seen that smoke in quite a while. There's only pistols and a hero AK here for Russing, who does get a cheeky little boost on up. That's a look into window room, but there's not a whole lot of window shopping to be doing right now.
Yeah, Icy does make a bit of noise there towards the ladder. Falls back into the 3-2 split. Just awaiting that short smoke to fully fade. And this boost is just going to be held by Bayman for probably too long. Little did they know that there is no CTs in window to get.
This
But
is
the
kind of
boost
what
in
I was
window is
just
definitely on
highlighting.
offer.
Right, like Bayman need to facilitate their own battles in this game, in this T side. They cannot wait for VTM to look to take the duels to them, especially when they know they're up against a bit of an eco buy. When you've got that AWP in play as well, they're going to be very happy to just look to lock down these lines.
Yeah, get some flashes out there onto the A side. That's a couple of dinks through the box from Ashelsa that didn't really deserve for wrecked. At least able to take the hero AK out of the equation, but going unchecked out of Palace side. Baby 4 starting to do a little bit of damage to this T side. Icy trying to hold strong from spawn side as Hatred gets cleaned out of connector, and it's a 1-on-2 for a Narcissus. Has been put together some pretty nice rounds for Bayman so far today, and now into the 1-on-1. Scurry's back into ramp side.
Oh, wow.
Lovely. Absolutely lovely couple of shots. Here's that smoke drop and instantly swings to make sure that there's no chance of a ninja coming through. Lines are up, knocks her down, and Bayman come through with a third round, kind of out of nowhere.
If you're VTM, you're a little bit blue in the face on the back of that round as well, right? Because you just had that one AK that Bayman saved on the previous. The rest was pistols. The rest were picked up weapons in the scrap of the battle over at that A site. You'd be laughing as Bayman in the fact that you were able to pick up that round. Can you go further, though? Now that you just see these pistols on the side of VTM, you play the 4-1, see what Barosto can sell over at that B site, which is drawing a couple of eyes back over to the site itself. Apart from that, bit of a how you going over at A ramp. And it'll come out with a 1-1.
KJ, hands on the AK, but held back for now by the mollies in towards ramp side. He chooses to try to bust his way straight through, and it'll be a nice open plant for spawn side, which has already been secured here by Rasing. It's a messy exchange, though. He will go down to Ashelsa, but very battered and bruised. It will have to be Baby 4 to get the majority of the work done here.
Andy gets that angle. And with Baby out and Ashelsa just on 14 health. It's just damage that they're looking for, and they're not going to find it. Andy locks her in with the 2-piece feed right at the end. And that's going to be that. Bayman 4-2 off to the races here on the T side.
And again, the money is a little bit in the bin for VTM, so they're not going to be able to come out with any substantial weaponry into this round unless we see a bit of a blessing on Ashes' MP9 or some close quarter proximity duels that VTM might be able to swindle. It's going to be 5 on the T side for Bayman. set themselves up for what we were kind of theorizing as a potential 2-0 with map number 1 going their way.
Baby had a little bit of a look in towards middle, but look, as his name suggests, he's going to make like a baby and just head out of con there. Bayman, in the meantime, have taken all of middle. Got a little bit of space in towards short as well, as someone kind of hanging around towards the backside of A-ramp. Nice flash to secure control of ladder room without taking too much risk, and now VTM just deagles in hand, waiting for some opportunities.
Ooh. Bit of damage there. And Ignite just taken right on out of that one. Pistols. Looking like they could be a bit more dangerous than Bayman bargained for. Let's see where they end up. Bomb going to be making its way up short, raising, creating so much space already, but there is going to be 2 CTs tucked away. And with that smoke towards default, there's a lot of space to play with on the back of site. Rotations coming through. Oh, and those shots striking true. 5 alive at the end of it. VTM causing an upset round. And coming out of it with 5 AKs. That is one you want to be taking.
There's a big blessing that has just come onto that round for VTM, honestly. A couple of moments for Bayman as well, where they shoot a little bit prematurely, revealing their position and allowing VTM to quickly dash in and out of the fights that they need to take around the site. That is not a round that you are comfortable with the result for Bayman at all in this backwards and forwards affair. You're going to have to contend with getting your economy in check, getting rounds in succession as well. It is scrappy.
You got a 1-3-1 here for Bayman. Pressure on B apps for the most part, and a little bit of control of middle, but yeah, for the most part, it's a pretty hands-off approach. Gonna need to get something working for themselves, though. They've only got 4 grenades to work their way through the rest of this round. Pretty huge util advantage for VTM. Believe that's their last smoke going into window room there, so a minute and 8 on the clock. They're gonna need to take some dry duels and win them.
Everything's slowing right on down. VTM unaware as to what's happening. Not really getting any information on the mid side of things, but still leaning towards A with 3. Popcorn and jungle setup, as well as this sandwich player could get undetected. That's going to be the bomb down at sandwich, but attack from above almost works out. Anastasis going to be knocked down to the knees by VTM. Pre-fire almost finding them through the wall, but Endy will fall in the end. And that's going to be a tied game again. Bayman, after losing to those pistols, they are licking their wounds and they are not in a good spot anymore. No plant, no money, no round loss bonus. It's not looking good.
No, not at all. When I was starting to sing their praises a little bit, you know, setting them up for some great T-side success, they have the rug pulled out from under them. I feel like a timeout is going to be in order a little bit sooner rather than later for them to reassess the situation going into their next buy rounds. I think we need some good decision making from them at the moment, and you know, make sure that you are getting a lot of the utility on the board as well to give yourselves a lot of options.
And Molly gonna
unless we have a pistol round comeback here of their own.
Yeah, maybe. Brosto beats the Molotov inside of B apps. Still a fair bit of util here for the CT side. Oh, that's a nice opener that actually pulls Icy towards short to take a little bit of a look in towards middle. The creep out of B-Apps is spotted a little bit too late there from Ash Elsa, trying to hold on from NPK's side. Really good coverage from short, though. And it seems like the rifles are, for the most part, starting to mop up.
Angles not quite working out for them, and it's all up to KJ, who catches the timing. Out to empty they go. Oh, spray transfer not quite there. Secondary necessary. Whoa, and the shot's almost insane, but can't quite wrangle the last onto Barosto. Bayman coming through with a pistol round of their own.
They've done it. They actually do it. The pistols sometimes are more potent than the proper guns ought to be. That is sensational work for both of these teams in these moments. But it's not like we've reset the economy on VTM Esports side either. They still have some good investments to be present in this round. And that AWP for Hatred as well. If you want to see start to shine. Shiner on the wards, Baby 4 though for the beginning. Second guess how you're going to play a couple of these angles going forward for the rest of this round, as the Bayman Esports progression up through mid is quite far already.
Baby 4 picks one on the cross, but there's the cat player going down. It's just Ash Elsa in the backside of the B side, but he's dealt with in kind. Hatred trying to catch them on the cross towards Market. Won't be given another opportunity, but the bomb has to cross here at some point.
And it will be allowed, just barely. Hatred, 2 big missed shots, which could have been round changers. And KJ, not dislodged from jungle just yet, looking to go for the save instead. Not realizing just how low Raising or Ignite is.
I was expecting someone else to come a little bit later in through mid for a bit of a wrap, but Bayman deciding that there's going to be strength in numbers on the site itself to establish that bomb plant. It's already ticked half away. You're just looking for an exit kill or two here as KJ. If you could somehow grab that AWP, it would be marvelous, but it's going to be super difficult to do so. Exit's the name of the game. An AK-47 picked up as well. It's going to be Bayman finding their 6th round on the board now.
They're starting to look better and better on this T side. VTM, despite the fact that they've had plenty of cash to work with, are actually about to get reset if they drop this round. Only 2.4k loss bonus, so even after that massive economy swing where they're able to pick up so many rifles previously, Bayman has still been able to crack their way back into this T side slowly but surely, and now has a really good opportunity to get that reset round and potentially tee themselves up an 8-4 here.
Ooh, straight up short. All eyes on Cat, but you can see the CT's postured to flash and dash and maybe just make their way through that con smoke, but they decide against it, and the spacing's now no longer any good. Where's that swing? Where's that trade attempt? It's a little late, but it is there. Endy coming through, but as the smokes fade, there is minimal time to make his way to the B site, stuck in ladder, and hoping that someone's going to be able to lend a helping hand of sorts. Look at this, though. Position from Hatred is huge to cut off the rotation out of that ladder room. And things go from bad to worse. Mid pressure's there and the fast flank available.
Yeah, hit the mid jump from the mid window. Very, very nicely done. But now, you start to bring it back just a little bit. Anastasis onto Hatred to bring it within 1 before the bomb plant goes down. What are you going to be able to do to potentially find this one? You're still delaying the plant, which gives Baby 4 a bit longer to get up through the apartments here. Super early, looking for the angle. Decapitation comes on out as Barosto. The 1 versus 2 now to try and come forward. The swing on from the CTs together. Can he find the right angle? Can he find the right timing? Barosto for the swing. Can't get it done. It's close. KJ will find VTM their 5th with the defuse.
Bro, Counter-Strike 2 angles. That molly should have gone
yeah.
onto the bomb, but it's bounced back on his feet, and he thought he had to swing. He thought he had to go for it. NT, the logic was there, but Counter-Strike, he didn't like it, Mitch.
Now, Mr. Counter-Strike could be a fickle master at times. You know, not kind to those who are so courageously trying to win one-on-ones, you know, Mac. It's just, it's really upsetting to watch sometimes. However, it does make for an entertaining game. VTM going to avoid getting reset here, and now the creep out of 8 ramp goes excellently for them. KJ is caught completely off guard. Baby 4 and Icy trying to scale their way back into the site there, but we'll have to respect things for now. Or maybe just run straight through the smoke. Guy's got a screw loose.
That is absolutely crazy. Meanwhile, Barosto is still running a marathon to get back over towards this A site to meet up with the rest of the team. Gives an opportunity for Hatred on a new line to be able to get down and dirty with this AWP. 2 versus 2. creeping on forwards as there's a bit of silence on the site, and Assassin swings like an assassin. The name similar in sounding and spelling, but Icy Dell, can he be cold with it? The answer is no. Barosto will close. Not tied up here at the half. Bayman will lead by 2.
I think Anasasis is an anagram of assassin. Now you've said that.
Oh my god. You've got one of those, like, you know, a beautiful mind kind of brains. I can see you just putting the pieces together in your mind. Just staring blankly into the distance.
Is there one too many A's? I think there's one too many
there
A's.
is, I think. Yeah, there is.
Assassin.
Close.
There we go.
Close.
Idiot.
The polarity of Billy.
Sorry, guys. Been spending too much time on Reddit. My bad. Bullshit.
One extreme or the other. Join us, the vocal minority.
Oh, man. Well, look. It's pistol time. This begs the question, can VTM play a T-side this time? Or are they going to lose this series? What do you think, Dion?
That is certainly a question. They could do both. They could play a T-side and still lose the series. Let's not forget that is possible here. Honestly, it's 50-50 with the way that these two have been playing these pistols better than the rifle rounds, but also making some really good decisions in a lot of these rounds as well, and some good adjustments. So whether or not you're a fan of a bit of a waterfall play out of Palace or not, generally not, but we'll give benefit of the doubt. Let's see how Barosto can fare here.
We'll pop out Pal. Flashes. Ooh, better late than never. Will disrupt Barosto in the midst of the spam. Site control going to be there and space to plant, but they want more. They want CT, and they're going to be knocking right at the door of extra damage too. Andy here to try to bring it right back, but it's all up to an Assassin, which is not an anagram of assassin, but could be an anagram of assassina. But you've seen that too much this round, Mitch.
No, definitely not. And I don't know if that's like the female version of assassin, but either way, it's not really relevant. And VTM are going to win the pistol.
It's actually
pretty
part of that. Remember that song where it's like, I've got Assassina on my team. Tell me about Assassinina. You know, remember that one?
Can I highlight something, by the way? Assassin has 2 lots of double S's, so there's an extra A and we're missing an S. Just to put that out.
Is that our fault or an Assassin's fault by not realizing that when they anagrammed incorrectly?
Oh, man. It's just unbearable listening to you two, even at the best of times. But look, at least I'll be able to distract myself with what should be a pretty clean anti-eco here for VTM. KJ, surely that's a freebie. And Anasis, the Oasis cover band, going to lose a lot of HP there as he makes his way back into spawn side.
A minute to go. There's an opportunity though for Barosso to get an upgrade here with the AK-47. Put in a little bit of damage potentially as we do lose the set assassin that is not in the round. Barosto falls as well. We're going topsy-turvy with this round at the moment. This could be a pistol swindle from Bayman Esports. Unless Baby 4 and Ash Issa are going to be able to bring it back. 40 seconds to go. Bomb in the sight. Can they force the plant here? Probably judging in positions of Bayman.
Yeah, feeling like Bayman have just given them too much. Just a little too much respect here. Oh, and that's the info Baby wanted. Wants to keep on fighting for this one, but... Oh, spots that second player. It's awkward. Where do you even drop the molly to try and buy space? Just bang in front of you. 2 CTs looking to come their way from spawn side, but in the meanwhile, Raising on the flank is going to be spotted. Baby head on the swivel, swinging around. And now they have info on both these remaining CTs. And that'll be that. It is just going to be the save of the secondaries, the AK and the Mackie. And we'll see if that's going to be enough into the next. But VTM, just when you thought they were going to lose to pistols, they managed to steady the ship.
Ignite. Getting one on the exit there. Baby going down. Very expensive round for VTM to get across the line, given that there was not really anything invested in it by Bayman. 7 apiece here. But a good opportunity for early on Bayman to potentially get a cheeky little reset going. See if Andy's going to hold on to that Mac 10 going into this round. Could be put to decent use if you're like the beachside anchor or you're going to play like close ramp or something.
Also seeing some favorability on doing one of those unders drops and setting up for a bit of a quick play there, but does look like they're just going to shuffle it over towards Racing, who is that general B player. So we'll play on the normalcy of what you'd do with that sort of weapon, as there's a little bit lesser utility on the side of VTM here. There's a Galil or two in the mix as well. So they're going to look for some favorable advantages where possible, instead of choosing to just explode together as a unit into one of these sites.
Early mid-control protocols all coming out for everyone. Hatred looking to lurk his way and just draw attention still here towards apartments. I don't know if that smoke hit the intended location. Might be a little angle for Hatred to try and play around. And Assassin in the meanwhile boosted on the double stack on short. There's that entry. That's the angle I was talking about. A misthrown utility might have just cost them the round, but Anasasis could just save it here. Standing tall on mid, KJ swinging around and taking his head off, and now it's all up to Razine and Ignite here. But where are we going to see them go? Bomb's still here towards the B site. They are committing, and they're looking for this short split. But the pause and the hesitation is catching me off. Razine not aware, but has seen the bomb fall. And we'll call for that rotation in. Last player's position not quite known, but the site control may just be there.
Winnable 1 on 3 for Ignite here. Tucked into market. Plant goes down here. Another player dropping. Waiting for someone to push through window side, I would imagine. Does have a kit to play with, so can burn down the clock a little bit. Waiting for a mistake. Either that. Okay, he is alive. He's breathing. Alright. I guess he's just given up any attempt at winning this 1 on 3, or he's going to try to ninja, but he doesn't have a smoke.
And they're going to spot him. They're not going to spot him. Hang on a second.
I didn't see him.
Nah, someone's still hanging around. KJ's going to find the kill. We're all good. Okay. Many a time. If there was a smoke, it could have been a different story.
I respect it. That was wild. How late that they hung around, though. You know, Bayman, VTM rather. They must have had that done to them before.
Could have, yeah, could have. These two did play each other on this very map into a couple of OTs, so maybe it happened. Interesting decision from Bayman to get a bit of a hero rifle in the mix, where they could have saved the money to get out an AWP instead on the CT side.
Oh man, they missed the window smoke. I think they need to go watch MacMate tutorial on Instagram Reels.
Mac Shorts.
To figure that one out. Mac Shorts? I mean, I've seen him looking pretty thick in a pair of shorts in the past.
Thank you very much. Why not the Mac
Oh, dearie.
You never bloody know, do ya? Baby, beautiful on the entry game. It's enabled by that flash, but it's going to be an AK retrievable on the back of site, as no one else has scaled forward. They're all just back there on the back pillars. And Anasasis allowed to walk all the way out. Yeah, they're going to pick this rifle up. They're looking for it, they're hunting for it, and the bench control won't come through. Icy spraying them on down, doing more than just enough. Raising in the 1v2 now. Still trying to figure out exactly where both T's are playing. Finds the first, but it's good reactions on the second. A Chelsea even, going to be coming through to do God's work. VTM getting closer and closer to a map win, which could take us all the way to D2.
The AWP does come out now from Bayman, though. So what I was theorizing to potentially be a bit of a problem is averted. some little missing pieces of utility, but if they can come out with the round here, should it be all good. Quick and rapid approach in towards mid from VTM, however. And you're already starting to get a bit of an insert up through Con. Might not even be needed. Ash, I saw in the B site. Rousing falling as well. That's just, well, very commanding. That's a save call.
Yes. I've been waiting to cast a save. Yeah, Baby 4, I believe it is. Top Con may give us some action here. Potentially catch the AWPer on the cross. But he's going to go towards jungle. So it might be a chance for all of these guns to be saved over. Oh, here we go. He's in the perfect position to catch the cross here. This is just beautiful positioning from Baby 4. Oh, there's so many shots being peppered through the wood. He's got him locked in here, Mac.
So locked in, but locked the hell out of the round. Good on the trade game. Hatred falling 2, and just like that, Barosto, instead of saving, he is just padding those stats, baby. Getting his mitts on the AWP and saving it for the next. And those extra couple of kills can go a long way now. Extra $100 in the back pocket. Or 150 even if you count the AWP pick we saw. But VTM now just need 3 to make this happen. Bayman, they need to lock down shop and try to figure out exactly how to stop this offense that VTM are throwing at them, because at the moment VTM are doing everything they need and more. I feel like we'd be in a completely different conversation if that pistol round, second round of the half, went in favor of Bayman. But alas, that is not the reality that we're living in.
We're talking about, you know, needing to see something from VTM on the T side because they didn't do it on train. They're doing everything that they need to on this T side at the moment. We're saying, where is these CT defenses to come through from Bayman now? So it's a very flipped script.
There's just not anything happening for Bayman. Like, they're just letting them have all of this mid control for free without really contesting it. Like, I want to see them mixing in the mid crunches. It feels like the most that they do towards middle is like kind of having a player hanging around cat, but we need to see like some coordination in terms of aggressing on mid side. I mean, the AWP posted up from Ticket has started things off quite nicely though. Hatred fumbles that one a little bit, and now again maybe an easy one for Anastasis. Unfortunately, Icy is a little bit faster there. Ignite gets the pick in A ramp, and with the bomb drop, things are going to get very awkward for the Teaks.
Yeah, that bomb pick is crucial for Bayman to try and get this round that they've been looking for a while now. Ignite going loud, just hunting down the final member, but it's Endy on the flank. And with 4 alive, that'll strengthen the economy somewhat. 4 alive and then the 2 saved in the prior. That's going to be another whole buy that they've warranted themselves moving forward towards the end of rounds of regulation.
And just in the tick over to the freeze time as well, they did manage to pick up that AWP. They dropped an AK, so Barosto holds that A1S over, but the important factor is that they've got everything that you would think that they need to coming into this new round for number 19. We actually can't say the same for VTM with the amount of damage that they've sustained time and time over with 1 or 2 members surviving. Bayman have done some damage in a lot of these rounds, but it was never really that consequential until they finally convert that round in round number 18. So this is a chance for 2 rounds, essentially back-to-back, and maybe you see them get back in towards this map of Mirage.
Starting to run out of cash here, VTM. It's the biggest issue for them. Going to make it harder for them to continue to contest middle, especially when you got the CT set up on in there. Full info now for Bayman, and they can even get a little bit of a flank going on a pretty early time. Coming out underpass when top mid is contested, it's going to be an absolute nightmare, and that's exactly why. I mean, look, honestly, Rasinga's made that a little easier for them. That should have been a free pick for the CTs right off the bat.
Ooh, there's a crispy entry. Endy, oh, it's a dangerous fight to take when you got those traces and minimal places to stand. Oh, and that was definitely a deniable plant. But Missed opportunities going left, right, and bloody center. Baby has to activate at some point here, but with low health, is a little hesitant to make that move. Does get the pick regardless, and Assassin returns the favor. It's just Shelsa and Icy that need to play on the back foot. That smoke, not going to be enough to play around, and they have no info on a Shelsa, who is one bullet away from the grave. The eyes are here, and the angle is... Oh, no! And a Shelsa! Beautifully played. Buying so much time, but that smoke surely going to fade. Oh, they ran out of bullets! Ah, the flash wins it! No bloody way! And Assassin! Not like this!
Oh, the underarms were crazy, Dion.
Yeah, that's spaghetti falling all out of the pockets there. You'd think that, you know, with how low a lot of those VTM members were, they should have all died and the round shouldn't have been theirs. But as soon as the 2K and that defuse denial comes through, you flip it on over. The balls to stick on that defuse when you really don't have any other way that you can win that round for Bayman. Oh, on a nice edge, I tell you what. Comical.
That's not a good way to lose control of your money in a critical juncture in this game. Timeout was taken there. VTM can only really afford to purchase up some pistols. Bayman are putting themselves in the pole position to win this series outright. Already starting to build up some cash on a couple of these players. A good chance to just give themselves a little bit of a safety net, a little bit of a windfall to close this series out and secure themselves a spot in that final to take on Alter Ego tomorrow here at AOC Masters.
Faster approach for VTM over towards this B site. Let's see if it's going to be a very fast pop, or if they expect some kind of aggression all posted on the line. And Assassin going to be spotted there on the short side of apartments. Molly buys some space, and that shot will finish off Andy. But in the meanwhile, it's an awkward turn of events as VTM have found themselves with the man advantage on the pistols again.
But can they convert it? I think that's the important thing right now. Otherwise, we'll see a tied up scoreline before they come back with the weaponry. That is a meaty grenade. That could have been gorgeous to finish off and bring a little bit more stability and numbers in the round for Bayman. Do still have a handsome advantage of the guns, but as Racing cops an explosive bullet to the noggin, it gets a little bit more interesting.
Crunch on middle from the riflers. Start to turn the numbers back in the favor of Bayman. It's a round that didn't start well for them, but the creep out ramp dealt with as well. The aim punch, a very real factor. Nice shot from a Shelsa to keep things interesting, but the bomb dropped top middle and only 28 seconds on the clock. I dare say that Bayman have got this one dead to rights.
Oof. It's going to take two crazy shots from a Shelsa, and with that time ticking down, there is no chance to do a damn thing. Okay, spots one. But only the second needs to survive. And Barosto has it all locked in. Full control, as Pasha once said. And we're all tied up here. Bayman, now with a significant financial advantage, if they win this one, should put themselves very close to peaking at match point.
You'd assume so, but you can never count VTM out. They've had a couple of slower pace rounds as well, so maybe it's the time to get a little bit more rush effect in towards the rounds.
From bottom con here. Waiting for a mistake from VTM. None will be granted for the time being. They're waiting for the creep through underpass. So the longer the Anastasis sticks around here, the more risk that he's exposing himself to. But that was the perfect timing. Untradeable from those players on unders. It's a good opener for Bayman.
Looking like there's a bit of confusion in the Bayman camp as to where they want to put their pieces. But Barosto will end up covering window.
That is a good grenade on towards Icidal as well. Puts these A1Ss in the realm of the single headshot, which is always going to be a nice little neat, favorable thing for Bayman here in this scenario. Unconfirmed, of course, but assumed that there was a little lick of damage from the numbers you heard earlier. Gorgeous.
Yeah, lovely from Bayman. Really good cleanup at the end of that round. VTM, I mean, terrible position to be in. No bomb plant. They are maxing out the loss bonus now, but don't know what they're going to be able to put together on this T side. It feels like Bayman very much are on the fringes of closing this series out.
Ooh, there we go. Blood drawn. But boost into window effective until it's not. Already softened up. Baby taken out by Barosso, and things get even more awkward. KJ, after an elongated battle there on the A site, it is won eventually by Ignite. And just 2 Tech 9s, a smoke and a flash. And a bomb on the back for VTM. Hatred looking to open up short side. Gets his mitts on an AK. Okay, now there could be something cooking.
It's more a question on how much attention can you draw away from this A side at the moment to get Icidal to creep on in. He's going to decide to run over towards this A site, and it's not going to be quite favorable, is it? To the palace he goes. And a 1 versus 4. I mean, you went into this round with pistols. We weren't really expecting too much for VTM.
Yeah, I see. 20 seconds on the clock. Kind of reserved expectations of what he's going to be able to achieve here. And Ignite puts him down. That series point for Bateman. Excellent CT side from them here on Mirage. And VTM once again, although they had a little bit of a solid run in the early to middle parts of this T-side half, as we've gotten deeper on into it and they found themselves reset. It just feels like last couple of rounds they've kind of lost that fire they were playing with earlier. The mid control has been much less effective for them, and as we've needed them to kind of dig deeper in a T-side playbook, unfortunately it seems to be a little bit shallow.
Ooh. And Assassin. Fortunately, Orping still able to have some extra impact. But VTM, all they've got is this mid control. It's just a matter of where they want to end. But their options certainly waning. And Bayman just 3 kills away from booking their ticket straight to the grand final. Hatred edging his way over through jungle, but picks the wrong direction to look, and the trade game ain't there. Ignite doing it for 2. It's Excelsa versus 5. And it's not going to be happening today. 13 to 10. Bayman do it in 2 as well. They were on the back foot. And VTM, they tried their darndest. They did what they could. But unfortunately on the T side, they just fell flat eventually. Oh, yeah. Travesty.
Which is also crazy, right? Because of the sensational start that they had at the beginning of that half too. Off to the races, really able to keep on going. And we were questioning if Bayman were going to be able to do something to get back in towards this map of Mirage, something to stave off the third. And they start to do so, and then when they get that run happening, they look flawless. They don't drop anything. It feels like that switch had been flicked, where last time on this very map. It took double overtime to get the job done. This time, they get it done in regulation across both maps for the 2-0.
Yeah, look, pretty back and forth series, I would say, between both of these teams. Both of them kind of going on some pretty big streaks. Bayman were a little bit better when it came in clutch. You know, it felt like the momentum was well and truly with VTM in that T side, as well as a lot of that CT side comeback on train. But when it came down to the last couple of rounds, Bayman were able to actually deliver when the pressure was on, get the series across the line, and rightfully so, they'll earn themselves a spot in the grand final to take on Alter Ego tomorrow. And you see VTM fall to take on a team to potentially try to get themselves that third place win, because we do have a little bit of extra prizes on offer for the team that does come in third versus fourth. So we'll play a cheeky little third, fourth decider tomorrow as well.
Yeah, that'll be an interesting one. We'll see how that ends up going, because look, Myth unfortunately looked super flat. Don't know if they're actually still a good team and Alter Ego were just that much better, or what's going on, because VTM, they looked like a quite formidable team, but it could be, maybe there's a difference in the quality of teams. That's what we all get to find out tomorrow, and that's what I'm excited for, is not only that, but to crown a bloody champion. Oh, but Bayman, yeah, they came out and they were looking good. Look at the mixed lineup, I guess. Like, you got Barosto there, who I guess we expected to be pretty good after, as you mentioned, we've seen a little bit of him in some different Eastern Russian mixes. But coming in here, looking like he was, red hot, ready to go.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think we're seeing a lot of moments from a lot of individuals across the board, no matter where they're coming from, in these mixed teams, in these regional teams, or national teams rather, as well. So it's good to see the elevated levels that they're able to come out with. And sometimes, we do have individual members that can take over rounds, can take over maps, which always gives really good confidence to them in the server, gives confidence to viewers as well, and makes us wonder, how far forward are these teams going to be able to do, right? Is this the beginning of a team that could start to continue and develop in the SEA region to start to, look towards the next step in playing VRS tournaments, in looking for some major cycle runs? There's a lot of questions that we could throw to these players emerging or coming back.
And if you have a look here, these are going to be the games tomorrow. VTM up against Myth is the first game of the day for the third place decider. And then that grand final going to be kicking off between Bayman and Alter Ego. Of course, that could be a little bit earlier depending on how the first game goes. Similar to today, we got that run and schedule just to keep things fast, keep things fun, and see who's going to be taking it at the end of the day. We will be done. Beautiful grand final Sunday. You love to get around them. Pilski, who are your picks for both these games, just off of purely what we've seen today?
Picks for the winners of the series, or like players, or like
winners of the series.
What's my favorite fruit? Winners of the series are probably Alter Ego, and yeah, it's hard, like you said, because Myth had to play Alter Ego, right? We'll go with Myth. Surely Myth can beat VTM. But I don't know. VTM looked pretty solid. It was a pretty close series. Really could have gone either way. So, yeah, I think VTM, similarly, tomorrow will probably be pretty hard for Myth to put away. And as expected, I think Alter Ego is about to absolutely batter yet another team in that grand final if I was to be a betting man. So, look, we'll see what tomorrow brings us, I guess.
Yeah, we'll see what we end up getting. And also, what about you, Dion? Who do you think are the picks? Similar to Pilly, or you got some different ideas?
I have a different idea. I think VTM have what it takes to best out Myth in that lower final, but I definitely feel like Alter Ego are a cut above. We see the tenure of this team across a bunch of their players. We see what they're doing, and their adjustments are, for me, just looking quicker than all of the three other teams today. They had a couple, more backup plans as well prepared. So I think for a couple of those regions, Alter Ego have the dub in my mind.
Okay. And on that note, I think I'm gonna be. I don't know. Definitely on the Alter Ego side of things for that grand final, but for the third place decider, I don't know. I want the Thai boys to take it, but VTM almost won me over with some of those rounds we saw. Like, they played some really good Counter-Strike, especially, knowing that all these teams kind of pick into Train or want to play Train or can play Train. Probably going to get a bit more Train tomorrow, at least in that best of three decider. Not sure if we're going to head there for the upper bracket game, because it was a little bit like Alter Ego made it look probably a bit too formidable for anyone to want to pick it into him again. I think that might be a long-term mistake if that ends up happening. But yeah, I guess we'll see once we get there. Obviously, we are just waiting to get one of these individuals in to have a quick chat to from Bayman, do the winner's interview, and get to know them a little bit better before we have to see them tomorrow. So hopefully we'll get that sorted shortly. But alas, it has been a great day of Counter-Strike, hasn't it, Mitch?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, look, get to know some of the players from various different regions on the come up in Asia. We always see the kind of same story over and over again, where majority of the representation, at least in the VRS tournaments and tournaments that we usually cover, is Mongolian players, Chinese players for the most part. It's good to see a couple more of these kind of lesser represented Southeast Asian countries have a crack in a tournament like this. That's what's great about having this national qualifier system and have a little bit more representation across all of Asia. So yeah, definitely got some cracked players chilling there in Vietnam and a few from Malaysia that I wasn't familiar with either. So that's something that is good to keep an eye on and maybe have hope for, at least in combination with some of the players I've been seeing come through for the Philippines. I reckon you could have some pretty nasty looking SEA mixed teams have a crack at a little bit of a run into the major. I don't know if a full nationality team, except maybe like a Philippines team, would be good enough to do that, but like a mixed nationality SEA squad I reckon would be like pretty nice looking. I think that's kind of what like Team Nemesis over there is kind of going for at the moment. So yeah, I think that would probably be the approach.
Yeah, I'd love to see what we end up getting out of those guys. And of course, one last look at this one, exactly what they are going to be playing for tomorrow. First place, the champions of AOC Masters 2025 will be taking home $4,000, which is a whole lot of cold hard cash. Second place, $2,500. So you got yourself an extra 1,000 just by winning today, bare minimum. And then for that third, fourth place decider, whoever wins tomorrow will take home $500 more, being $1,500. And last place, as a bit of a consolation prize for turning up and enjoying themselves, gets $1,000. That's a whole lot of dollars, and enough dollars to potentially buy yourself some of these beautiful monitors that are on offer. And there's also extra little bits and bobs going to the champions, going to some of the second and third place teams as well, from your Crucials, your XPGs, and your NZXTs. So it's not just what's on your screen. There's a few extra bits and bobs, and we'll go over that tomorrow. But where would you want to be, Dion? Do you think you got what it takes to be that champion?
I mean, you got to remember as well, even at the fourth place team here, there was still 8 other teams that did technically play below you as well, right? So it's not like they've just rocked up. They've done some damage. They've done what they needed to do to get into that at least fourth place. Do I have what it takes? Not really. There's a reason I don't play this game. I'm not that good at Counter-Strike. I know how to throw a backwards flashbang on Dust 2, and that was about it. And that was pretty fun way back when. Did some things, but yeah, it's playing for fun, really, not for the win, despite how competitive I might be.
Yeah, okay. Well, hopefully we can work on that for you. Hopefully we can help you improve over time. Maybe get on the Mac Talk, the Mac whatever, or even just anyone else that is a better teacher than myself. Pilski, when I think of the best teachers in the business, I think of you.
Oh, okay. I mean, I can teach you how to Dougie, but I don't know if I can teach you how to play Counter-Strike these days.
Yeah, but you've got a good idea. You've been one of the best to ever do it. That's what they call you.
One of the best to bomb out of every season of CS, relevant CS in every LAN. I think I was the lowest rated player at my first LAN, my first nationals. So yeah, I think I'd kind of be the antithesis of a person you'd want to be teaching you how to play Counter-Strike. Unless your objective is to get destroyed by the best players from your region.
Hey, don't sell yourself short, mate. You're one of the best coaches to ever exist in FPS games. People just don't know exactly what's been going down, all right? And that's what where we're at with it all. Like, honestly, in this series, I thought we were going to 3. I thought that was almost destined to go to Dust 2, but it's a real shame that VTM, unfortunately, just weren't able to pull it off, weren't able to, find that last bit of petrol, dig deep, and make it happen. But ladies and gentlemen, we do have Raising H to have a quick chat to from Bayman Esports, so let's do that.
Yeah, hi guys. Hello, can you hear me?
Hi. How's it going? How was the series for you? It was a very, very close one. How do you feel now that you guys have got yourselves the dub?
Yeah, I'm actually happy. Yeah, they were strong. Not gonna lie. But yeah, in warm up, I guess. So after pistol round, not so much, to be honest, because I expected them to play like the same as us, because we are not really that great either. So yeah, our game day was simple, just shoot them. So yeah.
No, that's very good. I was gonna say you guys played a lot of overtime last time when you played in that best of one. What did you look to change and prepare differently going into today?
Oh, honestly, we had borrows to our IGL, just studied their demo, I guess, and concluded their weaknesses. So yeah, I did not touch CS for approximately 2 weeks, I guess. I just came and just played. So yeah, it's all up to them. They turned up. They didn't do it. So yeah, I trusted my team, and yeah. So yeah, the plan very, very well. Yeah.
Well, you've done well enough to secure yourselves a spot in the grand final, so must not have done too bad. You got to take on Alter Ego tomorrow, though. So how are you feeling about that game?
Not feeling too great, to be honest, because they are getting paid to play. So they are likes of Pentet, once upon a time one of the best riflers in the world. In Asia. So yeah, I'm actually looking forward to it. Yeah, I have good teammates as well. So we are hoping for a good fight.
All right, awesome. Well, I'll ask you one more question before I let you go and get some much-needed rest. Look, 1v1 on the A side, it's you versus Bentet. Who's taking it?
No disrespect to Bentet, but I still think he will win. Yeah, even though he's over the age, but I still think he will destroy me. Yeah, respectfully.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, respect being shown. We'll see if that same respect ends up happening in the server tomorrow. Thanks for having a chat with us, and looking forward to seeing how you go in the final tomorrow.
All right, thank you guys. Thank you.
I think he's underselling it, Mac. I think he's underselling it.
He's underselling it. He's got what he said, 0 hours last 2 weeks. That's always the best way to come into these bloody championship tournaments.
Yes.
And show exactly what he's capable of. So, shout out to him, shout out to Bayman, and hopefully we get to see them put on their best face tomorrow in the grand final. But that brings us to the end of the games for today. We do have Asarai to have a few words with you guys before we end the show.
Thank you so much, MacMate, Pilsky, and Komodo for an incredible, amazing casting performance for that, again, series between VTM Esports and Bayman Esports. So, excuse me, I'm just like a little bit choked up because of how tight the matches were. Even though it was a 2-0, it still went that distance. But we now have, as the casters were mentioning, the placements, right? So for our battle for third, we have Made in Thailand versus VTM Esports happening tomorrow. We already saw that. And the next one, we have Alter Ego and Bayman Esports for the grand finals. And that's it for day one here at the AOC Masters 2025 grand finals round. Don't forget to tune back tomorrow for more action and, of course, to see who will become the champion of AOC Masters 2025. So once again, a huge shout outs to our sponsors, Crucial, XPG, and ZXT, and of course Aegon by AOC, and the incredible lineup of gaming monitors that powered today's events. And yeah, you're seeing for the last time for day one, our incredible line of Aegon by AOC monitors. And again, for this time, for day one, guys, my name has been Astra. I'm your host, and we'll see you tomorrow for day two. So, see you guys then.